got 94 Gs, so essentially my body weight becomes 3.5 tons. Here we are. I'm one piece.
He says he's grateful for cars built for safety and for his car being rebuilt in time for practice for the 500. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, looking at Hendricks County, and Dan Jones Road is shut down near Avon Middle School. This is from County Road 100 North to County Road 200 North because of a gas main break. Northbound 65 on the south side, slowing from Raymond into the south split for construction. Southbound 65 starting to slow west into the north split. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies today. Some scattered showers, even a few thunderstorms possible with highs right around 80. Partly cloudy, mild again tonight. Lows in the mid-60s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! Oh, man. I am in a great mood today. I know it's a little gray out, but I'm in a great mood. I'm Jason Hammer. Jeff Boggs is filling in for Big Nige. And what an amazing time to be in Central Indy, Jeff. The next 2 weeks ahead of us, it's going to be so fun. It's going to be electric. We've got the Pacers. We've got the Racers. And a possible execution of a piece of trash cop killer. Allison, cue up the band. Hey! Hey! The Indiana Parole Board has recommended no clemency for that piece of trash, Benjamin Ritchie. So I got to be honest, Jeff, I'm a little surprised by this. There was a lot of chatter, a lot of momentum that the parole board might be getting kind of soft here. And they might recommend to Governor Braun, we recommend life in prison. But that did not happen. Earlier today, the Indiana Parole Board said, we are going to recommend no clemency to the governor. So now, unless the Supreme Court comes in, Jeff, which it's kind of a long shot, it's up to Governor Braun to decide whether or not Ben Ritchie will be executed on the 20th of May.
Well, that's a pretty big test, I guess, for Governor Braun right out of the gate here. I couldn't imagine the Supreme Court stepping in on this case. I've done the research on it. I know your feelings on it, and I'm definitely on your side. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I couldn't understand what the reasoning would be. Correct? If there was this overturned for some reason, I mean, the case is quite factual. The punishment fits the crime.
Right.
And let's press some buttons and go.
And on top of that, the family of the victim has stated from day one, we want justice. We hope he is executed. Because I've always said, as much as I'm a romantic and like these guys to die, if the family feels otherwise, I will defer to them. They get to kind of make that decision. But ultimately, it's going to come down to the governor's call. So we shall now see what happens with the execution of Benjamin Ritchie.
What was the date of it?
May 20th, but technically like after midnight on the 19th.
Okay.
So technically the 20th, but most likely before sunrise.
Oh, that's so a few days here coming up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Time is a factor here. Last night, let's get into some happy stuff here. The Pacers beat the Cleveland Cavaliers last night. They win that series 4-1. Jeff, did you watch the game?
You know I did. We were texting during it. Man, it's almost emotional. You're watching this, and you're watching a team coming into its own right in front of your very eyes. It is so exciting to have these guys who not only are great on the court, but they actually like each other. And when Miles Turner hit that three, and he went to the jersey, and he popped out the Indiana, that's what you need in our market. You need people who can't wait to be here, can't wait to play here. And now we're in the NBA Final Four. There is absolutely no reason that we cannot win a championship. And that's exciting.
8 wins away. 8 wins away from a championship. Now, the schedule for the Eastern Conference Finals, the Pacers will be on the road. Now, if the Knicks hold on, it will be at New York the first 2 games. If somehow Boston rallies from being down 3-1, it will be at Boston. But the one thing that we know is that the first home game has been locked in for the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 3, the first home game for the Pacers, will be on Indy 500 Sunday, Jeff.
You can't get more American than that. That's America right there. That's a John Cougar Mellencamp song.
It is, and God bless the IMPD, because I know they are down like 300 officers, and there's still chatter, and we don't know if it's legit or not. We're going to check in with Senator Jim Banks next week when he calls in. There's chatter. The president may be coming to the Indy 500 this year.
He mentioned it. I wonder if it would be a good idea to you go out to the race, okay? God willing, we have great weather. The race goes on for a few hours. You're in the stands and you drink until you can't feel your hands. Then you walk to the stadium. You walk it off. A couple miles.
It's a couple miles, yeah.
Have the stanchions up on the side of the street and just let people walk it off, and then gather down while hopefully we've split with New York and we're going to take a 2-1 lead. I think that would be such a great reflection for our city.
And we'll talk about this with Eddie White when he calls in here in just a little bit. But when the Pacers are doing their thing in May, like the fans at the Speedway are aware. Like you'll get "Let's Go Pacer" chants starting to break out. And it's just a fun time, man. And I got to be honest with you. I want the Knicks. If we're going to do this full Pacers and Racers thing where the first home game is on race day, I want the full nostalgia. I want Pacers, Racers, i.e. Hicks versus Knicks.
Yeah, this is bringing the whole city together, because I went to Chick-fil-A here on the Circle earlier, and when I was coming out, a homeless gentleman gave me the finger, but then we both kind of were wearing Pacer shirts, and we're like, "Go Pacers!" So it was awesome.
That's how we do it here in Indy.
It's great.
It's bringing people together here in the Circle City, and again, the police have their work cut out for them, because we say every year, hat tip to the police department. It's state police, it's local police. 350,000 people go into the Indy 500. And for the most part, unless somebody's drunk and blacked out, everybody goes home safe that night. That's hard to do, right? Let the police do their job. It's almost like they could control rowdy crowds, something maybe Joe Hogsett should have remembered back in 2020. But I digress. And now you're factoring in the first home playoff game downtown, where national television, it's either going to be a super big market, New York, or another massive market in Boston. Pacer fans are going to be lit. Oh, man, what a fun time.
Did you by chance see the video of Keyshawn Johnson, the great NBA analyst Keyshawn Johnson? For some reason, last night, he was on one of those shows, and he was talking about, okay, the Pacers coming into Madison Square Garden. And his whole take was, oh, they won't be able to handle it. They're going to be psyched out. They're
what?
Not. Yeah, it made no sense whatsoever. We beat them last year. So none of this is new to us. You know, back in, 94, when Reggie had the 8 points in 9 seconds, that was when this all started. We got Halliburton now. That guy could score 10 points in 9 seconds. You don't know. So there's nothing that scares me about playing the New York Knicks. And, hey, guys, good luck running with us.
The last 2 Game 7s in the playoffs in Madison Square Garden have been losses to the Indiana Pacers.
Right. And remember the half-hour infomercial for the Knicks that ESPN did last year before Game 7?
Where they showed Stephen A. Smith arriving to the arena like he was a player in the game.
And did you also notice that ESPN has 12 paid NBA analysts? Before the Cleveland series, all 12 of them picked Cleveland. So I have a feeling at some point ESPN's going to have to get to know the names of the Pacers because we're in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Andrew Nembhard? Who's that guy?
Nesmith? What is it?
Les Nessman? I don't know. Now, the Pacers head coach, Rick Carlisle, he goes on our sister sports station, 107.5 The Fan. He's part of the morning show. He calls in every week. So we didn't want to bother him. He's a busy dude. So I got the next best thing. Here to recap the series win, Jeff, this is AI Rick Carlisle.
To quote Bill Murray in Ghostbusters, we came, we saw, we kicked their ass. Imagine being a man that lives in Cleveland. You just saw your number 1 seeded team lose every home game and get eliminated. And now you have to go back to your low-paying factory job, an ugly wife in Cleveland. I mean, those women in Cleveland were hideous. I think I saw one woman with a beard, my assistant coaches, and I would often play a game called Pregnant or just a fat Cleveland woman. Spoiler, it was always a fat Cleveland woman. I mean, what a dump of a city. Their main exports are poverty, crippling depression, and fat chicks with neck tattoos. In Indianapolis, we eat steaks from St. Elmo. In Cleveland, all they can afford is a Hot Pocket prepared by a truck stop lot lizard. Buckle up, Indy. Next 2 weeks are going to be lit. Go Pacers. Boom, baby. AI Carlisle, out.
Out! Nice. AI Rick Carlisle wrapping up the Cavs series there. Next 2 weeks are going to be lit. Love it. Matt Bear, what's going on?
So going on, fellas, inbound 65, stop and go from 21st to the north split. South side, westbound 465, slowing down from 74 over to Arlington. And in Avon, Dan Jones Road shut down between County Road 100 North and County Road 200 North. That's by Avon Middle School. That's because of a gas main break. Traffic sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
75 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. We'll touch base with Eddie White, host of the world's greatest post-game show on the Pacer Radio Network. He gets a little fiery at times. We'll see how Eduardo Blanco is doing today. That's coming up. We've got some fun interactive bits with you guys. Let's have fun today. Let's have a good time. Hang out with us. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Do you feel like you're on a roller coaster right now? The weather is all over the place. The markets are up, and then down, and then somewhere else. I get it. Matt Bear here for Trajan Wealth, your investment headquarters that's family-owned and veteran-led. I've really enjoyed my experience with Trajan. I didn't walk in with a big wad of cash. I'm not a money guy, so to speak, but they treated me like one regardless, and I just love that. Call to schedule your first appointment. It's free, 317-480-4040, or visit TrajanWealth.com. Trajan believes every portfolio should be different, so it doesn't matter if you're upgrading your portfolio or an investing novice. They'll help you with sound investment strategy that has you in mind and no one else. Call today and learn more about these strategies. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Is your well water pressure low? Tasting a little off? A neglected well can lead to costly repairs, but C&J, the official water treatment sponsors of the Pacers and Fever, has you covered with their well cleanout service and 6-point inspection. It's the lowest price of the year, and C&J will even throw in a free well cap to keep out the critters and crud from messing up your well. Your family deserves the purest, safest water straight from your own well. Schedule your well cleanout with C&J. Great systems and great people, too. 317-852-WELL.
If this is the year to build your custom dream home, Joyner Homes is ready to help make your dream come true. They offer the flexibility to build on your own lot, allowing you to build a home in the place you've always envisioned. A dedicated in-house team of experts will guide you through every step, offering unmatched personalization and flexibility. Joyner Homes provides clear and upfront pricing and floor plans to inspire you. There's no time like the present to get in touch with Joyner Homes to talk about your vision and learn more about their building process. Visit JoynerHomes.com.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved? If you qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, a Humana Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan, a D-SNP, may give you the extra benefits you're looking for. A D-SNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials, too. With a Humana D-SNP, you get $225 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
During much of Indiana's history, communicating on the telephone with the deaf or hard of hearing was nearly impossible. Friends and loved ones couldn't stay in touch, so the hard of hearing became isolated. Today, those with hearing loss have equal access with the captioned telephone from Relay Indiana and can keep their independence. Relay Indiana allows a caller to read what the other party is saying. This advanced technology keeps Hoosiers connected so that everyone can contribute to Indiana's productive future. Learn more at RelayIndiana.com.
Saturday is the Sundown Gardens Spring Open House. Save 20% off everything in stock, excluding labor. Sundown Gardens, 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield.
This hour on WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, designers of fine custom jewelry.
1, 2, 3, let's go!
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Halliburton gets rid of it. Far corner. Turner. Dagger. A 3 out of the corner, and all of a sudden, a switch has been thrown. This place is like a library.
That is Mark Boyle on the Pacers Radio Network with the big Miles Turner Dagger 3 last night. Pacers moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals, and on the hotline, Eduardo Blanco, Eddie White, host of the world's greatest postgame show. Eddie, what's going on, my friend?
I'm doing fine, and you're doing fine because I guess Jethro Bodine has a leak in his cement pond in Zionsville, so you got him out of the office today. So that's pretty good. So listen to you and Jeff has been very entertaining and better than usual.
Wow.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, his leak isn't in a cement pond. He has another leak that he's getting taken care of.
Yeah, it's called leakage, but that's, splitting hairs, I guess, at this point. Man, how was that postgame show last night, Eddie?
Oh, it was okay. Are you kidding me? Holy smokes. I mean, it's... we had a viewing party early, and the TV people come by and they interview you and ask, they already asked, who do you want to play in the next round? Well, we hadn't won last night yet, okay, but you got to take care of business. But I was like, I don't care if we play the freaking Harlem Globetrotters. I don't care. I mean, all I know is the Pacers are now officially going to the Eastern Conference Finals For the second year in a row, I'd like to remind America, I tweeted last night, hey, we're back. America, get used to it and deal with it. And, I know a lot of people outside of the state of Indiana, they don't like us. They for some reason, they just don't think we're any good. I think they're flat out jealous because they're seeing a professional basketball team play like nobody else plays, that they actually play for each other, that they actually have a bench, that they don't have to rely on one superstar. We got two superstars. You need three superstars. No. One night it's Obi, another night it's Halliburton. You don't know who the hell's going to kill you. It's like having 19 assassins out there, and I just love it. And, we beat a good team to get to this round. We just beat another good team. And now, regardless, so we play Boston, New York. I hope it goes 7 games. I agree with you guys. I hope they beat the crapola out of each other. And whoever the hell is standing, I don't care. It could be Boston. It could be the Knickerbockers. I couldn't care less. I don't care who it is. All I know is we're going to beat them. And for the first time in, 25 years, we'll have the NBA Finals here in Indianapolis.
Eddie, I lived in New York City all through the 90s with the whole Reggie Miller and, the Knicks Pacer. So I understand the hatred that people outside of this city have, because I worked at the Letterman show, so Dave was a big Pacers fan, and I had a big Reggie Miller poster up in my office, and I felt protected. Nobody could yell at me, but walking down Times Square with your Pacers shirt on, you definitely felt the hate.
Oh, absolutely. I've been, over that same time frame. I remember we went out there for a game, and we didn't wear our Pacer stuff because not really get killed. We were sitting in the upper deck of Madison Square Garden. But, I said it then, I'll say it now. It was so funny to read the back of the post, and it would say Hicks versus Knicks. Mm-hmm. And I remember saying to the guy, you do know our two owners were born I think they were born in Brooklyn. Or no, they were born in the Bronx. Donnie Walsh was born in Brooklyn. Mark Jackson and Chris Mullin, they played at St. John. We have more freaking New Yorkers. And I look at your roster. If we put a broken tractor at midcourt, John Starks from Oklahoma and Oakley from Virginia could fix the tractor. Not one guy in the Pacers could. So who really were the Hicks?
Right. And looking at the schedule, Eddie, just as a guy that lives in Indy, I'm so excited for these next 2 weeks. We don't technically know when the first 2 games are, but we sure as hell know that first home game, Game 3, happens on Indy 500 Sunday. How awesome is that?
That is fantastic. We've heard it for years. There's nothing like Pacers and Racers, and that could be a mixture. Last year we played before and after the 500. Of course, this year it'll be on the same day. And then I got to add, the day before, the afternoon before, on one of your sister stations, they can hear it, but you can see it in person. You think Indianapolis is going to be alive that weekend? The Fever play at home, and who they play against? The defending WNBA champion, New York Liberty. So you could have the New York Liberty on Saturday. You could have, the New York Knickerbockers on Saturday night, and you got the darn race going on Saturday morning and afternoon. I mean, this could be one of the greatest sports weekends. And listen, we've had a lot of them. Okay, it's not like we can only choose from 2. This community's been blessed to have a lot of great sports weekends. But that could be. It sets up to be one of the best we've ever had.
And Eddie, did a certain member of the Indiana Fever call into the world's greatest post-game show the other night? I was listening coming home from the stadium, and I heard Caitlin from downtown make a random phone call in.
Yes, we have billions. We're global. It is the world's greatest post-game show, so we don't take calls because I don't like collect calls from Turkey because God knows what prison, And I don't need to talk to these people. And anyway, but we get Steve from the north side, who, of course, is Steve Simon, our alternate governor and the son of the owner, or Herb Simon, so we're taking his call. And sometimes we get Rick Fuson, who's Rick from the south side, and we get Drew Pop, the actor. He called from the way, way west side, meaning California, last night. But, yes, we had our first call from Caitlin from downtown, and delightful lady. Explained to me she just moved here like a year ago, and she's from Iowa, and she's played a little hoop, and she said she played a little basketball, and she had a great perspective, and she shared it with us. But it just adds to the mystique that is the world's greatest post-game show. But to be serious, yeah, it was Caitlin Clark. She called in to surprise Steve, and I saw her afterwards, and she said, I wanted to call as a fan. She goes, because it blew me away. I'm looking, I'm going, they got 81 freaking points at halftime? And she goes, I couldn't believe it. And then the shooting exhibition, it was unbelievable. As someone who loves basketball, I was blown away, and I'm so glad it was, the team that I'm now rooting for and that I love and that I work for. So, yeah, it was kind of cool that the Fever and the Pacers have had this thing. You always see Pacers players at Fever games during the summer, and, of course, the Fever players come to a lot of the Pacer games when they can. So it's kind of cool, and it was neat to have her call in.
Eddie, we just got whistled for a foul on Brunson.
They've already started the fouls already, Eddie.
I don't want to go there, but, if you're the NBA executives, you're sitting there going, okay, we could have New York against Curry in the NBA Finals, or we could have Indiana versus OKC.
No, come on. The NBA wouldn't fix anything like the draft or something.
Right. The lottery is ran like a well-oiled machine.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you both a question.
It's not fixed.
All right, who wins? Who's more likely to win a championship this year, Pacers or the Fever?
That's Eddie White, host of the world's greatest postgame show. The answer is both.
Silent. I would. The answer is both. But if you're saying who's more likely, and you had to make a bet, I can't bet on basketball. We're not allowed to. I would say the Pacers, because technically the Pacers are 8 wins away from accomplishing the mission. The Fever have to play an entire regular season, stay healthy through it, and then compete in the playoffs. So mathematics-wise, it just tells you it's the Pacers.
Yeah.
How great would it be for only the second time in history we have an NBA and a WNBA championship from the same city in the same year?
Oh, that'd be solid.
How cool would that be?
Eddie, we got about 30 seconds left here. For those wanting tickets and people are already asking about it, do we know when those go on sale?
Yeah, I believe it's 2 o'clock. They go to Pacers.com/playoffs. All the information on viewing parties and any updated stuff, but there will be a gold out, all that other stuff. Pacers.com/playoffs is where to go. And get your tickets early. Do not wait, because we know Spike Lee's coming. And let's take him out. Take him out.
Man, I wish Slick were here to see this, Eddie.
Boston, I don't care.
I wish Slick were here to see it, my friend. It'd be awesome. Eddie White, host of the world's greatest postgame show. As always, we appreciate you.
God bless you. Boom, baby! Boom, boom, boom!
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Greetings, Boomtown. Ever since this neighborhood switched to Xfinity Internet,
the Wi-Fi is booming!
Xfinity combines the power of internet and mobile with one all-in plan.
So we've all got lightning-fast, secure Wi-Fi speeds at home and on the go with Wi-Fi Power Boost from Xfinity Mobile.
You get the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best in-class equipment and unlimited data included. Plus, add an unlimited mobile line.
All for only $40 a month for 1 year. To celebrate this combo, we're mashing our shows together.
It's everything you need all in one plan. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with a premium unlimited line. Now, sit back and relax with the smooth, relaxing sound
of face-melting acid metal!
Brilliant.
Visit Xfinity.com to learn more. Ends June 23rd with paperless billing and autopay stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet gateway required. Taxes, fees extra. After 1 year rate increases to $110 a month. After 2 years, regular rates apply. Actual Wi-Fi speeds vary. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Hammer and Nigel here for our friends at American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard. And what I love about American Standard is they've got so many awesome local independent dealers. One of them is B&W, HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. Join their Premier Club. Stay ahead of the game. If something goes wrong, if something goes out, you want to be a member of the Premier Club because you receive priority scheduling. You receive exclusive discounts. You get routine maintenance, all by being a member of the Premier Club. So when everybody else is calling for maintenance and service, you get to cut the line. B&W's Premier Club. Call them today and ask how you can be a member. 317-214-0108. That's 317-214-0108, or visit bplusw.com. That's bplusw.com. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard. Make sure you tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Got plans this weekend? Why not head to Honeysuckle Hill Bistro in Brazil, Indiana?
Honeysuckle Hill Bistro is located inside our family's lakeside home. The menu changes weekly, and whether it's chicken to wine, we focus on serving Indiana-sourced items. One thing that's always on the menu is our version of the Hoosier breaded tenderloin sandwich. Can't decide what to order? You can order the Bites Plate, where you get a sampling of everything that's on the week's menu. Honeysuckle Hill Bistro serves dinner Fridays and Saturdays 5 to 8 and Sunday brunch buffet from 11 to 2.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Some people don't believe the president can or should get it done. You've got nothing on radar, but you do have a chance that you could see some more showers this afternoon. It's cloudy right now and 72 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. A House Appropriations Subcommittee takes up funding of the Trump administration's deportation efforts. Fox's Jeff Manasso.
Ranking member Illinois Democrat Rep. Lauren Underwood during Wednesday's hearing telling acting ICE Director Todd Lyons that the Trump administration is cashing checks it doesn't have to reach an unrealistic goal amid ongoing deportation and detention efforts that she claims
are operating with disrespect and disregard for the foundational constitutional principles that govern our country.
The Trump administration has called for a goal of over 1 million deportations per year, in which acting ICE Director Lyons says they're prioritizing the worst of the worst, vowing
to preserve the rule of law and protect our fellow Americans.
ICE is also asking Congress for more funding to continue the massive deportation efforts. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Meanwhile, Democratic lawmakers are pursuing impeachment efforts against President Trump. Mike Emanuel is in Washington.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has not ruled out impeaching President Trump, while House Democratic Leader Hakeem Jeffries has been more cautious, as Democrats are likely to face tricky votes as rank-and-file members pursue impeachment. Georgia Democrat Senator John Ossoff signaled support for impeachment at a town hall meeting, but notes it will require Democrats controlling the House. While Pennsylvania Democrat Senator John Fetterman says impeachment talk is just dumb, it's not going anywhere, but some Trump critics still want to go forward.
The killer of Beech Grove police officer William Toney will likely die May 20th unless Governor Mike Braun goes against the recommendation of the state parole board. They have decided to not recommend clemency for Benjamin Ritchie, who told them last week that he is a changed man, and his lawyers argued that he has mental problems related to fetal alcohol syndrome. His execution is scheduled 6 days from now. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Nothing better than taking the family out to a midsummer baseball game out at Victory Field. And my friends at AAA Hoosier Motor Club can help deliver on some big-time savings. They're partners with the Indianapolis Indians and sponsors of their fabulous Friday night fireworks. And if you're an Indians fan and a AAA member, you get all sorts of perks. $4 off tickets to all home games, plus 10% concessions and Indians Pro Shop discounts.
Yeah, going to Victory Field, always fun. Same with going on a vacation. And AAA members, you save when you have a membership. You get discounts on hotels, rental cars, and even complimentary travel planning. Plus, if you run into trouble out on the road, AAA has you covered. Flat tire, dead battery, run out of gas. AAA is there 24/7, 365, no matter where your travels take you. Join AAA today. Visit AAA.com, call 844-GO, AAA-GO, or stop by your local AAA office.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, Dan Jones Road in Avon shut down from County Road 100 North to County Road 200 North. That's by Avon Middle School. It's because of a gas main rupture. Inbound 65 stop and go 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slow to the south split from Belmont. We are moving, though. South side eastbound 465 stop and go traffic from 65 over to Arlington Avenue. On the north side, eastbound 465, that's slow. Keystone Avenue to the White River. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies today. Some scattered showers, even a few thunderstorms possible with highs right around 80. Partly cloudy, mild again tonight. Lows in the mid-60s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Again, we said from the very beginning, we're having fun today. And if you need a reason to drink tonight, if Pacers and the Racers isn't enough, if the fact that the parole board, clemency board has denied clemency, they're recommending that the governor move forward with the execution, if that's not enough for you, Jeff, how about this? On this date in 1787, delegates gathered in Philadelphia to begin drawing up what would become the Constitution of the United States of America.
Oh, my goodness. That's historic right there. That's the bedrock of our society and a beacon for all of Western civilization now, the Constitution of the United States. And they gathered in Philadelphia, and this was the beginning. This was, hey, what do we want to do? You know, let's come up with a preamble. Let's come up with some text, maybe a Bill of Rights. And if people feel inclined, they can amend it in the future.
A process for amendments.
Wow, that's impressive. Do you ever wonder, you think about the people who were there, the Hancocks, the Franklins, all of those people, what if we were there? Like, what if you and I, Allison, what if we were just hanging around and it's like they're taking input from us? It's like, anything you want to get in there? Is there anything you can think of off the top of your head? Like, I definitely have a few things that I probably would have said. Term limits. I would have said, let's put term limits into this.
For Congress and things of that. Yeah.
Like, let's say, nobody can serve more than 8 years in Congress. I think another one.
Because we do it with the president now.
Right.
Why can't we do it with senators and Congress members?
Why can't it be written right in there? I think another one, and this is a big one for me, especially with summer coming up, no socks and sandals. It's like, I don't care if it's comfortable. I don't care if you got funky toes. No socks and sandals. We can't have people walking around. You can wear socks. You can also wear sandals. You can't wear a combination of socks and sandals. Put it in the Constitution.
And you must have at least socks on if you're getting on a plane. Now, if you're going to put socks on, by your rule, we would need to have shoes on and not sandals.
Exactly.
But I'm willing to reach a compromise here. I just don't want to look at somebody's toenails on a 5-hour flight somewhere on a plane.
Should be in the Bill of Rights.
Allison, anything that you can think of you would like to give some feedback to the Founding Fathers on?
I would like to do, I would call it a considerate tax break. So, when you give to charities or donations, you get a tax break on that. Well, what if you did that, but if you were doing good things for people? Like out in the wild. So if you held the door for someone,
you get a tax break.
Yeah, a nickel. Why not? You'd find a grocery store cart in the parking lot. You take it up front for them.
Okay, now on the heels of that, let me piggyback because I want to add some grocery store stuff too. If you are the person that leaves the cart in the middle of the aisle, Guantanamo. If you are the person that is blocking the aisle with your cart as you just look at your phone and you're not paying attention, Guantanamo.
I like this. I'm going to add one to that run right there. If you're a person who tries to get on an elevator while people are getting off, Guantanamo.
Yes.
Wow, you guys really just go to Guantanamo. It's going to get full quick.
You got to send a message right away.
It's the Constitution.
Kind of thing is, unacceptable.
Right. What about one more? Can I throw one more out while I have your ear? Okay. No one is allowed to win a country music award unless they can name 3 Merle Haggard songs without using Google. You have to be able to name 3 Merle Haggard songs, no Google, in order to win an award. It would cut the award shows down to about 5 minutes, and everyone would be happier.
So if you are, let's say, Beyonce, who won a major country music award, you would have to be able to name 3 Merle Haggard songs in order to keep said award.
To go up and collect the award. And let's be fair, Beyonce, for all her faults, she's still more country than Luke Bryan. So to any of those people.
Okay, I'm with that. I want to go back to the airline, too. If you stand up on the back of the airplane when it lands and you try to get off before the people in the front, maybe not a trip to Guantanamo right away, but a series of fines. And if you can't pay the fine, then you go to Guantanamo. And this also goes for the guy that takes 5 minutes to pull one piece of luggage out of the overhead compartment when everybody has to pee behind you.
I can see John Hancock right now going, slow down, Hammer. Hold on. Pee behind you. He's writing. How about one more? If you're a member of Congress, you are not allowed to marry your own brother.
Oh, that would be huge.
It would solve the whole Ilhan Omar problem.
Right. We'll call that the Minnesota Special.
Sure.
Absolutely. So hit us up at Hammer and Nigel or at Not Kenny Rogers. Let us know what you would like to tell the Founding Fathers if you had access to a time machine. Go ahead and do us a favor. Put this in the Constitution. You can jump on the YouTube chat and do that too. WIBC's YouTube channel. It's up. There are cameras. We're rocking and rolling. There's a big chat there. Jump in. If you had access to the hot tub time machine and you go back to the 1700s and you could talk to the Founding Fathers, what would you ask them to put in the Constitution? Also, today, it's Mark Zuckerberg's birthday. Jeff, now I know you've got some thoughts on the dork that is Zuck.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think he only turns 41, which is crazy, right? That's way too young to be that rich. But let's just cut to the chase. Was Facebook the cause of the downfall of our civilization? Did that invention? I know we had MySpace before, and everyone had their top 8 friends. And
Chat houses on AOL.
And it was cute. But Facebook came in, and you look at all the great things. I can tell when people's birthdays are. I see pictures of my cousins and my nephews and my nieces. But also, it just has caused people to turn into zombies. And I think it's done more harm than good. I don't know.
Why did Facebook do that and MySpace didn't? Because MySpace was popular. Let's not act like that it wasn't. Old Tom, that smile and his white shirt behind the blackboard in MySpace. He gave you your friends list. He gave you a list of songs you could put on there. Why was that not as toxic as Facebook?
Exactly. And the stupidity of having a top 8. Like, you're publicly saying, these are my top 8 best friends. Well,
the AP poll has released my top 8 friends.
I really got into it. I would announce it, and people would get angry. And I remember removing, close friends, and you get calls. But Facebook, I think it just turned in, it's the town square. It's now so ingrained in the fabric of society that you can't imagine life without it. We use Twitter. Twitter, for all its faults now, it's still a little bit cooler. I think it's a little younger. You know how many more people use Facebook than Twitter? It's a multiple of 8. It's unbelievable, the reach of Facebook. But unfortunately, I got banned from Facebook. My Not Kenny Rogers account was getting millions of impressions a day. And then I think I told one too many jokes of confusing Stephen Colbert with Rachel Maddow. And I woke up in the morning and the whole thing was gone. And no questions asked. But I think it has turned people into that whole thing about, I want to show people how great my life is. Even though you may be crumbling inside, everything is about how great your life looks on social media. And I think that's done a disservice to our society.
And it's created keyboard warrior guy, Johnny Tough guy, right? I make fun of him on this show all the time. You can still see who the kind of guy is that graduated from Ben Davis in 1995 that still wears his Letterman jacket on his profile picture. I don't wipe my butt. That kind of guy.
I want to add one more thing to the Constitution. If you don't know the difference between your and your, or there and there, if you can't handle those two, you can't post on Facebook. You can't leave messages because really that has separated the grammar men from the grammar boys. You have to know at least the basic minimum to be effective on social media.
Keith writes on the YouTube chat, in terms of adding something to the Constitution, 2 words, Taco Tuesday.
Ooh.
All right, I like it. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Have you seen all the patio furniture at Sullivan Hardware and Garden? Check the specials on all of our patio furniture just in time for Memorial Day. Like all-weather wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. We specialize in excellent quality, mid-priced patio furniture that's in stock at our 37,000 square foot warehouse. All sale priced at 30% off. You can even choose your own custom cushions on most sets. Get ready for Memorial Day. Come see our wide selection of hanging baskets, bedding plants, perennials, and much more. With so many colors and varieties, it's the best-looking selection you'll find anywhere. Looking for a new grill? See our full selection of Weber, Traeger, and the Big Green Egg. Shop, play, experience. Spring with Sullivan's. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers. Online at sullivanhardware.com.
Hammer and Nigel here for your retirement guy, Bill Demery. He's also my retirement guy, based here in Indy, and the amount of lifetime income that you get from Social Security could vary by hundreds of thousands of dollars, but it all boils down to timing. You can also coordinate taxes, special spousal benefits, and a lot more. It's a lot of stuff to take in. It can be intimidating. It can be complicated, but that's where Bill Demery comes in. Bill Demery will sit down with you, break things down, and explain to you in ways you can understand what's going on with your retirement money. And right now, if you've saved more than $200,000 and you've not yet filed for Social Security, schedule a free analysis by calling Bill Demery. It's free. Take advantage of it. 317-648-5120. This could help you get hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional lifetime earnings. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
You know, one of the biggest differences about Indy Decorative Concrete, other than the fact that they do fantastic custom concrete patio work, the best in Indy, the other difference is they actually have W-2 employees, real concrete finishers that work for them, no subcontractors. I think that says something a lot about a local concrete company. Many of the same guys for years. Mario Sr.'s been there since 2009. Indy Decorative Concrete did such a fantastic job replacing my old porch and sidewalk. It gave a whole brand new look and feel to my front yard and my house. They took a basic sidewalk and porch and turned it into this custom stamped concrete area with more space and an awesome, unique look. My wife and I can't believe how amazing our new front porch and sidewalk looks. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. Whether it's a new patio, sidewalk, porch, whatever, don't do anything until you've checked out my friends at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Start her engine by racing into Pierce Jewelers in Carmel for that perfect diamond engagement ring that will put you in the winner's circle. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more.
The Home and Garden Show is on the road this Saturday. They'll be broadcasting live from 9 to 1 at Miss M's Home and Garden Spring Open House in Bargersville. Enjoy the Pearl Coffee Company, Mallow Run Winery, and Chomp's Food Truck. There'll be door prizes, giveaways, and more.
Matt Bear, talk to me. What's going on?
All right, Hammer, inbound 65, delayed 4 minutes from 29th to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 75-minute delay. Harding into the south split. In Avon, Dan Jones Road is closed because of a gas main break. This is near Avon Middle School from County Road 100 North to County Road 200 North. South side, eastbound 465, slow after 31 over to Emerson Avenue. Eastbound 465, stop and go at Keystone. Let's go at the White River. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. See their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear. Traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
75 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. According to a new study, the Southern accent is fading in some areas of the South because they've had so many transplants move into the region, whether it's because of the weather, oppressive politics from places like California or Colorado. Here is a Southern family talking about how they've noticed the accent going away over the years.
I don't think I know anyone that has a clear, distinctive Southern, what I would consider from watching TV years ago, the traditional Southern accent.
I don't think I have an accent, but when I talk to other people, they say that I sound very country, or they can't figure out where I'm from.
People in Georgia do have an accent compared to like people in New York.
I think a little bit will be lost, a little bit of that Southern charm.
So, Jeff, when you moved to New York to work on Letterman, or when you moved out to California, did anybody say you sounded like a hick?
Not really. I mean, Indianapolis, Indiana has that crossroads of America accent. That's why there's so many, I think, big name broadcasters from here. There's something about the way we all talk here It could be different in Beech Grove or Carmel or something, but overall we're pretty straight down middle of the road. So I didn't get a lot of that. Plus, I kind of talk like the host of the show I was working on, so nobody could rip on that.
Right.
But I did notice when I moved to Nashville, I did notice there was an influx of people, who are like, we're going to the bar. And you're like, well, that's not Southern.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like
That's
Knox
a New
County.
Englander.
That's
Right.
That sounds like a mass hole to me. Great moments in Southern accent history. I think Cajun qualifies as a Southern accent, like the assistant coach in The Waterboy. That's probably what Nigel sounds like right now on his all-inclusive trip to St. Thomas at the pool. Great moments in Southern accent history. This is one of my favorite stories. A Kentucky guy that ran to help victims who had crashed into a mailbox and had a swarm of bees go at them.
Well, I just had got done feeding my chickens, watering them and stuff, and I walked back to my house there to get my phone so I could play a video game on it. And all of a sudden, I heard a big boom.
Anderson then says they ran up the road, grabbed a hose outside his home, and started trying to spray off the bees.
I told him he needed to get out of that water, but say I didn't know he was getting eaten up by bees. I thought he was just high.
Which, again, if you've watched enough King of the Hill, this should sound very familiar to you.
I walked back to my house there to get my phone so I could play a video game on it. And all of a sudden, I heard a big boom.
Boom, just like that.
I looked back out my door and the electric pole fell and the lines was falling.
I've been calling y'all people better than a month now. I grab about y'all every time a dang old dog crossed the street started yapping at y'all.
And Jill Pepper sideways into the fence.
How you supposed to come out and do anything about that dog if you're just going to get a dang old computer ain't going to come over here and
And all of a sudden, I heard a big boom.
Boom,
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 boom, just like that.
Great moments in Southern accent history. What I like about Indiana, and I know we only got a couple seconds left, is you can tell what part of Indiana somebody lives in if they call it McDonald's or the McDonald's.
Right.
If they call it the McDonald's, they're probably a Southern Indiana guy. If you're from Central, you just call it McDonald's. If you're super cool, you go Mickey D's.
Well, Dave used to say statistics, or as we say in Indiana, statistics.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Man, I love the way my brand new Galaxy concrete garage floor looks. Those guys did an amazing job. They were in and out within a day. My old garage floor was dirty and gross and cracked, and their amazing staff came in and within a day made it look brand new. It's not epoxy, by the way. It's better and 4 times stronger. I spend a ton of time out in my garage, and my new Galaxy concrete garage floor is out of this world. Check out their website and see pictures and get a quote, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or call their office at 317-751-9070.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Matt Baer for Concrete Exteriors. Don't wait to beautify your home for summer for a fresh new look and increased home value. New siding by Concrete Exteriors is the answer. From James Hardy fiber cement siding to a big array of vinyl siding colors and styles, the experienced pros at Concrete have all the choices. Plus, a lifetime workmanship warranty and over 10,000 satisfied customers. For your free estimate, call Concrete Exteriors at 317-ROOFING or visit concreteexteriors.com. Tell them I sent you.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant.
who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
It's the strongest hearts that remind us to cherish the moments. It's the grandmas who made us sit up straighter, the grandpas who showed us old records, and the parents who were embarrassingly loud at our games. It's those hearts that are anything but ordinary. Caring for extraordinary hearts for decades, Franciscan Health knows heart care is more than just a name on a chart. It's somebody who shaped your whole life. Heal your heart today at franciscanhealth.org/heartcare.
Training for a new job after 55 can be challenging. But through the Senior Community Service Employment Program, or CSEP, unemployed workers 55 and over can receive on-the-job training in preparation for a new role. You even get paid for your training time. To see if you qualify, call 765-830-WORK. That's 765-830-WORK. Then, armed with a new set of skills, get out there and start your second act.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-557-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
Situation during a toast at a state dinner in Qatar, pushing to end Iran's nuclear program. But he also says Tehran must end its support of proxy groups in the Middle East, including Hamas, Hezbollah, and Houthi rebels in Yemen. Earlier in Qatar, he also met with Syria's new president, a former al-Qaeda fighter.
Here's how that meeting went down. Syria's al-Sharat basically asked President Trump for some kind of economic help, and President Trump said that things like that can happen, but it's all going to hinge on Syria recognizing Israel by joining the Abraham Accords. The other huge diplomatic news bubbling up at this hour on the president's trip, tomorrow's planned meeting in Turkey between Putin and Zelensky that Marco Rubio is going to attend.
Fox's Peter Doocy in Doha. President Trump not ruling out an appearance himself. So far, Russia's president has not said he will meet with Ukraine's leader. A Georgetown University student from India, detained by immigration officials in March, is released by a federal judge as his deportation fight with the Trump administration continues, one of multiple students whose visas were revoked. A rollback at the EPA on Biden-era limits of so-called forever chemicals in drinking water and a variety of products.
Forever chemicals, which don't quickly break down naturally, were found by the Biden administration to heighten the risk of heart disease and some cancers. The EPA said it will weaken some of the limits previously set and reevaluate those PFAS levels. Per- and polyfluoroalkyl chemicals are man-made and often used in food packaging and non-stick cookware. The EPA will stick with some other limits the Biden administration set, but lengthen the given time to treat and counteract the chemical's dangers.
Fox's Gernal Scott. Environmental groups accuse the agency of abandoning common sense rules. The Dow down 89 at the bell. America's listening to Fox News.
Sometimes an identity threat.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
In the 1977 murder of Everett Armstrong, a few scattered showers have popped up in the Indy metro, some right over the city proper, but those are just sprinkles, and then some storms north of Lebanon. 72 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 4:02. A murder from 50 years ago solved. 84-year-old Everett Armstrong killed in his mobile home near Geneva in Adams County in August of 1977.
Was able to narrow down a suspect where there was significant information on that had committed the crime, and he confessed to several people that he had done it, and he showed one of the murder weapons.
State Police Captain Kevin Smith. James McBride is the suspect, or was the suspect. He's died since. He says witnesses came forward not long after the murder, but the investigator back then didn't take the lead seriously. The Indiana Parole Board is denying a death row inmate's clemency request. Jarrett Lewis reports.
Benjamin Ritchie's clemency request is being rejected by the Indiana Parole Board. They have recommended his execution set for May 20th to proceed as scheduled. The final decision will now be up to Indiana Governor Mike Braun. Ritchie shot and killed Beech Grove police officer William Toney in 2000. Ritchie sought a commutation based on his fetal alcohol syndrome disorder diagnosis and childhood abuse. But after reviewing evidence and testimony, the board determined clemency was not justified.
In the hit-and-run crash that killed a 4-year-old and hurt 2 others last Wednesday at State and Raymond Streets in Indianapolis, Indy Metro Police say they've arrested Danny Wimbleduff, who's 22, and who is now charged with reckless homicide, leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death, and 2 other leaving the scene charges. You've likely heard President Trump talk about his big, beautiful bill. Ryan Hedrick reports on what one Indiana congressman is saying about it.
If we do not get this bill over the finish line, over 62% of the tax filers will face substantial tax increases in 2026.
Republican Congressman Jim Baird speaking at the House Agriculture Committee meeting Tuesday. He says they're working to find at least $230 billion in cuts.
We are about to make history and deliver our promise to the American people to restore fiscal sanity.
He says in order to do that, they're looking to restore the food stamp program to its original intent, which is to encourage work, not welfare.
Traffic, weather, and a report from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway straight ahead.
Hey, what's going on? From the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, I'm Brendan King with your Network Indiana track update. Here into the late afternoon, practice number 2 for the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500 carries on. And once again, just like yesterday, into today, your quickest in the paddock, Will Power. Yesterday, 227 plus. Today, the best lap speed, 225.584 mph. Right behind him, his Team Penske teammate, Joseph Newgarden, and the 2-time defending champ. The Fast 6 features Power and Newgarden at the top, followed by Scott Dixon, Alex Palou, David Malukas, and Marcus Armstrong. Over 1,500 laps turned so far. Practice moving on until 6 p.m. And at this point, all 34 drivers trying to qualify for the greatest spectacle in racing have turned laps. And once again, the most, Kiffin Simpson at 62. He had 85 yesterday. Brendan King, Network Indiana.
You probably have a dream retirement in mind, but do you know how to get there? The difference between dreaming and living your ideal retirement comes down to having the right plan. And that's where Howard Bailey Financial can help. At Howard Bailey Financial, we've created a free retirement toolkit to help you bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. Text DREAM to 888-262-1104 to download your free retirement toolkit that includes a retirement checklist, Social Security decisions guide, estate planning guide, and more. We want your dream retirement to be your reality. And it starts by texting DREAM to 888-262-1104. Let us help you take the next step toward the retirement of your dreams. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, inbound 65 delayed 4 minutes, 29th at 2 Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 on a 6-minute delay from the south split back to Tibbs. Northbound 465 on the east side, slow 72 Penn Pike. Eastbound 465 stop and go Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. Also on the north side, eastbound 465 stop and go traffic from 865 over to Michigan Road. And southbound 65 tight from 865 to Dogleg to 86th Street. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered shower and storm potential tonight up to I-74 with an isolated severe hail risk. Thursday hot and humid with near record highs in the upper 80s. Severe risk Thursday evening and night of storms can fire with all hazards possible. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
Hey, now, I'm Jason Hammer. Big Nige is out with anal leakage, but fear not. Former late-night comedy writer for some of your favorite television shows, Jeff Boggs, in studio. Thank you for filling in.
Oh, you're very welcome. And, at some point, you have to think they're going to stop that leak. At some point, they're going to plug Nigel up. But we're on, week number 5 of the calendar year where they're still trying to stop the flow.
They don't make plugs big enough for what Big Nige has, apparently. But we digress. Now, earlier in the program, we were talking about if you had access to a time machine, what would you go back and tell our founding fathers to put into the Constitution? Somebody on the YouTube chat said, no insider trading, ... Nancy Pelosi rule. Well, believe it or not, there are some lawmakers that are actually working on that right now. House Rep Mark Alford, he's introducing the House version of something the Senate has already put out. Now, in the Senate, it's been Josh Hawley, the representative that put out the Pelosi Act, and Pelosi is an acronym. They spell it out, but it's basically you're not allowed to do insider trading. You're not allowed to trade stocks, or your spouse as a member of the United States government. Now, Missouri House Rep Mark Alford is introducing the same thing. It's legislation that would give lawmakers 180 days to divest individual stocks once enacted. This bill would ban lawmakers and their spouses from holding, purchasing, or selling individual stocks while in office, but it allows investments like mutual funds and things of that. So you can still have a 401k, but you can't pull what Pelosi's doing or others.
I think they should even go a step further. I think you should be allowed to, have your S&P 500. That basic that everyone can invest in. I think where it gets weird is when you find out that, Pelosi approved something, some, $1 billion fund to some little known defense contractor. And then the stocks a year later, she made $7.3 million on it. I think that gets a little squirrely, and I'm totally in favor of making it illegal to do that.
It's that inside information which makes this dicey for insider trading, right? Because this brings us to Indiana's Jefferson Shreve. Now, for those of you who remember, he was the, quote, Republican that ran for mayor here in Indianapolis against Joe Hogsett. And for a long time, people were excited. Oh, my God, this guy's wealthy. He's loaded. He's got all these businesses. He made millions, hundreds of millions of dollars off these storage facility units that he sold for like $500 million. The dude is worth up to $700 million. So he runs this primary for the mayor in Indy, and he's got some of the most old, outdated, dinosaur fossil advisors that convinced him that being a gun grabber is what's going to fly. And needless to say, his base revolted. No Democrats voted for him. And just like anybody else, he got his ass handed to him by one of the worst mayoral candidates in the country in Joe Hogsett. So he decided, all right, I don't want to have to go back to working. Let me try to buy a congressional seat. So he runs for Congress, U.S. Congress, for the seat that Greg Pence had left behind, kind of the Columbus, Indiana, Eastern Indiana area. And he wins it. So now he is being looked at for a little shady wheeling and dealing. According to investigative journalist Dave Leventhal, who looked at congressional records, he discovered that Indiana's Jefferson Shreve, quote, made millions of dollars in personal stock trades as the financial markets plunged during the days immediately following President Donald Trump's tariff announcements. So one could probably assume he saw the writing on the wall. All right, Donald Trump's going to roll out these tariffs. It's not going to be good for a couple days. The market, it's like a newborn fawn. They're going to be a little scared, and I'm going to sell everything off, and then I'm going to make money doing that. And that's what he did. And people are saying, how are you any different than Nancy Pelosi?
It's like Trump said during the debate, I believe with Hillary, when they were talking about the tax laws, and they thought they had a gotcha. And they said, hey, Donald Trump, you have taken advantage of these tax laws to make money. What do you say? And he goes, of course I have. Of course I've done it. You allowed me to do it. The system is so broken, you allowed me to do it. I'd be a fool not to go after it. That's what this guy is saying. He's like, hey, It's kind of on the up and up a little bit. So, yeah, I'm going to take advantage of it. The key is going to be is to not making it on the up and up, to somehow, cutting it off at the pass to where you're not allowed to just skate by and do things like this because it's out of control. And if you just, you see these people in Congress who are making $237,000 a year. And they've been in Congress for 25 years. I'm not good at math, but that's what, maybe 2 point something million, over the span of time. They're worth $100 million.
Right.
And so, something's out of whack. And if you and I can't do it, if Allison can't do it, then they shouldn't be able to do it.
That's the thing. Martha Stewart served hard time in federal prison for insider trading. Like, everybody talks about the relationship with Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart. Only one of them has been in federal prison, and it's not Snoop Dogg. So if you're going to lock up Martha Stewart for this kind of stuff, how are you letting people like Pelosi, and in this case, possibly Jefferson Shreve, the Republican from Indiana, get away with it?
Well, and the problem is, once you get into office, you're seeing this with Bernie Sanders right now. Bernie Sanders, back in the day, it's like, no, I'm for the people. These rich people are evil. How dare these millionaires? And then once Bernie became a millionaire, he switched to how dare these billionaires?
Right.
And it's out of whack. It is you make a lot of money in politics nowadays, and that's why earlier when we were talking about term limits, let's take the idea of turning a $200,000 salary into $100 million. Let's take that off the table, and maybe we'll get more people who are like, I just want to do good for my people.
Jeff Boggs filling in for Big Nige today. It's been announced that at the Indy 500 this year, the, quote, fastest seat in the house, where they every year take some sort of celebrity, they put him in the two-seater, and they race him around the track right before, the race gets going. This year, it will be driver Jimmy Johnson driving around Tom Brady. Oh. Now, keep in mind, we've already got Gronk hosting the Snake Pit, which I will admit, I think that's the perfect casting for that crowd, for that environment. But an awful lot of Patriots coming here for this event, Jeff.
Now, let me ask, will he deflate the tires on that car?
Oh, come on.
Come on. We're having fun. Well, hey, if Robert Kraft comes into town, watch out, all you strip mall massage therapists. Am I right?
Boy, I wish the Wild Cherry were still open next to the Speedway, because old Robert Kraft would be sitting right there on Pervert Row. With Tom Brady, though, did the fact that he went to Tampa and became de facto Florida man change anything for you? Because I got to be honest, I lightened up a little bit on Tom when he was like, you know what? If you think I'm the problem, screw you. Went down to Tampa, got drunk, got shirtless. He's throwing the trophy around the ocean after he won another championship. He kind of became Florida man, and I didn't hate him as much.
I still hate him. I remember when the Colts had some kind of promotion where you could buy a brick to put outside of the stadium and engrave it with whatever you wanted.
Right.
And they kept denying my request. This was 15 years ago, and I kept, my first one was Tom Brady sucks, and then the Patriots are cheaters, and they just would never accept it. I will never forgive that team, that coach, and that quarterback from stealing at least one ring from us.
At least one. Although that Colts team, man, should have beat the Saints in that Super Bowl. And I was there for that, and just better team did not win that game.
Hank Baskett,
Coach Caldwell not putting his foot on the throat of the Saints right before halftime when the Colts could have put another one on the scoreboard.
Freeney was hurt.
Yeah, and he still played and had a sack. And I don't know about you, Matt Bear, but as a Colts fan, I often think about those big losses more than I think about the wins. Does that make sense?
There was one where the Colts were playing the Patriots. The Patriots were undefeated at the, I almost called it the RCA Dome, at Lucas Oil. And all of a sudden I watched Stallworth just blow by our secondary and go up. We almost had them beat in their undefeated season, and it still kills me to this day.
Yep.
Northbound 65 stop-and-go traffic from Meridian Penn up to 21st Street. Inbound 65 grinding MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slow from Belmont into the South Split. North side eastbound 465 stop-and-go traffic from Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. Inbound 69 stop-and-go 96 282nd 2nd. Northwest side northbound 465 loaded 86th Street up to 865. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And Jeff, if we're talking about Colts losses that just stick with you, the number one seed on my board is that playoff loss to the Steelers. Colts were at home, and they came out sluggish, but at the end, you have Gary Brackett put this amazing pop on Jerome Bettis, who never fumbles, but he coughs it up at the goal line. And then Nick Harper, fresh off a stab wound from his old lady the night before, picks it up and has nothing but green in front of him except for a fat slug laying on the ground that's Ben Roethlisberger, and for whatever reason, runs right to Ben. He trips him up. All right, fine. Colts still go down the field, and then Vanderjack kicks it into the bathroom. It was like the perfect storm of everything that would just piss me off.
Our liquored up kicker. I want to be very clear. I still hate the New England Patriots, and it hasn't waned whatsoever.
75 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Hammer and Nigel here for our good friends at American Standard Heating and Air. They are built to a higher standard, and one of their awesome local independent dealers is Kirby. Kirby Heating and Air in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, stand up and make some noise. Kirby has been doing business for well over 3 decades. Lloyd and Jessica Kirby, they are the founders of this great Hoosier-ran family business, and now their sons, Robert and Adam, they're carrying on the tradition of awesome, excellent service, and they take pride in their work. You don't make it 3 decades without doing something right. Kirby serves Hendricks and the surrounding counties, and the reason they choose to install American Standard products? Easy. It's quality. So make sure that AC is good to go for when that hot summer air comes in. Contact Kirby today at 317-892-3614. That's 892-3614, or go to KirbyHeating.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
Pat Sullivan here with exciting news from my friends at Hope Plumbing, now known as Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Hope now offers plumbing, heating, and air conditioning services, bringing total comfort to your home. No more dealing with multiple home service memberships. For only $8 a month, Hope is now your one-stop for safety and maintenance inspections and so much more. Make sure you're prepared for those Indiana summer heat waves with an AC tune-up by calling Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today at 641-HOPE.
Hey, who's winning? What? Who's winning? Somebody spinning?
Race fans know the track is loud. For the hard of hearing, this confusion happens every day on the telephone. RelayIndiana.com can help. RelayIndiana.com is a free service that provides telephone access to the hard of hearing, so users have normal phone conversations through relay operators. Relay Indiana also provides free equipment to those who qualify. Enjoy the race and phone conversations. Visit RelayIndiana.com now.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Guys, don't waste time and money with low-quality online TRT that charges you over $100 just to start. Visit the TRT experts at the Low T Center for a free consultation and a free test. Treatment is personalized to your body, and most major insurances accept it. Looking to lose weight? Get a free B12 shot when you start prescription treatment right now at the Low T Center. Offer is limited, but book right now. FixMyLowT.com. That's FixMyLowT.com.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov or text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 today.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Is This Anything? Brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed. Very cool program presented by the Attorney General's Office here in Indiana. Indiana Unclaimed reunites Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every single week. You've heard us talking about it. Go check it out for yourself. See if you've got any money out there. Maybe it's your wife, maybe it's your kids, maybe it's your parents. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Jeff Boggs is in for Nige. Jeff, is this anything? A town in California is dealing with a little bit of a problem in their neighborhood. Exploding birds. Birds are exploding and dropping dead in a residential neighborhood, and a lot of people think it's because of power lines. Now, the electrical company says it's most likely someone shooting the birds out of the air with something like a slingshot, because apparently it's 1954. Here are residents talking about exploding birds.
It's a mystery. I think that's how we all feel, is it's inexplicable.
Sounded like a firecracker, and a black, I think it was a starling, just plummeted to the ground.
Super traumatic to see this.
Feel like a BB gun doesn't make firecracker noise.
And I can't fathom somebody could be that accurate all the time.
I know where the sound is coming from, and it's coming from up on the pole.
That particular wire does sizzle and arc at times.
We just want it solved, like at the end of the day.
First of all, I think I saw Exploding Birds open for the Goo Goo Dolls at Deer Creek.
Great one-hit wonder back in the early 90s.
Great band, grungy but cool. Exploding Birds. So here's the deal. PG&E out there in California, this is 100% the power company's fault, because they've also been causing most of the fires out there because the lines are sparking and causing outrageous fires. So the idea that a spokesman would actually say could be a slingshot is absolutely ridiculous. So this definitely is something. And to me, it sounds like another Aaron Brockovich type situation where get a couple $100 million and, go on your way.
Yeah, if you wanted to lie to me, at least make it realistic. Well, the problem is people have too many guns out here and people are shooting the birds out of the sky. I wouldn't believe it, but that'd be more realistic than Dennis the Menace over here is like an American sniper plugging all these birds out of the sky and making them pop on the way to the ground.
Yeah.
No, ridiculous. Is this anything? A guy in Australia has gone viral on social media because he claims that you can wash your Croc shoes in the dishwasher along with the dishes that you eat off of. Take a listen.
I heard you can wash your Crocs in the dishwasher, so I'm going to try it. Check back when they're done. Actually spotless. Look at this. My only worry is they've shrunk, so I'm going to let them cool and then I'll try them on. Lucky they were a little too roomy, so now they fit perfectly, but they shrunk.
There was a clip a couple days ago, or maybe it was last week, where it was the same type of thing, but they were washing their toilet seat. And it was a whole thing about, can we wash our toilet?
We had a big debate here on that show about it.
Okay, well, breaking news. You can wash anything in a washing machine. Anything can go in. Should you is the bigger question. Why would you want to wash your shoes? In there. I don't understand if that really makes sense. Of course it'll work, but to me it's nothing because a washing machine will wash it.
Right. Now, in regards to things you put in the dishwasher where you're eating off of, okay, if you want to have the debate, I don't want the toilet seat going where I put my plates where I eat off of, fine. I'm not one of those people, but I understand the argument. Shoes, I don't know. I don't think it'd be that overly awful unless these things are just caked in mud and feces for some reason. I don't know.
It's Australia. There's crocodile dung on the ground. There's kangaroo feces. It could be anything at this point.
But it's not like the hot water and the soap doesn't wash all that off, right? It doesn't move the poop from the shoe to the plate. That's not how it works. The physics involved there, that's not how it works. Is this anything? A YouTube editor edited 311 different movie scenes to create the exact lyrics for the Eminem hit song Lose Yourself. Okay, here's an example. The clip we're going to play features part of Frank Sinatra, Patrick Swayze, Tobey Maguire, Adam Sandler, Will Smith, and more.
The beat goes on.
Da-da-dum-da-dum-da-da.
Lose yourself in the music. The moment.
You own it.
You better never let it go.
You only get one shot.
Do not miss your chance
To blow.
This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music.
The moment.
You own it.
You better never let it go.
You only get
One shot.
Do not miss your chance.
Blow.
This opportunity
Comes once in a lifetime.
That anything.
I mean, it's something. We all think about this from time to time. Comedically, you're like, boy, it'd be fun to, protesters getting hit in the nuts by beanbag guns and put it to, I get knocked down. But but then you have to weigh, how long is that going to take me to finish?
Right.
This guy just said, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And he got played on the Hammer and Nigel show. So good for him. It's something.
You may not have 1,000 horsepower, but you're always racing, whether it's to work, to pick something up, or drop someone off. So go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations or visit drivehubler.com and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're racing to, go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Hammer here for Diamonds Direct, and it is graduation season. And Diamonds Direct, they've got something for every graduate. Different styles, different price ranges. Nobody has a bigger selection and lower prices than Diamonds Direct. Now, do you guys want some inside info? I'm going to go full Pelosi here and give you some inside info that you can use for your advantage. This weekend at Diamonds Direct, world-renowned designer Simon G will be there, okay? So if you want to get the best customized jewelry, go check out Diamonds Direct this weekend. My friend Chris, who works at Diamonds Direct, tipped me off. Nobody else is giving you this information. Make sure you stop by Diamonds Direct. Take a look around, visit Simon G, but you got to tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Big Joe here for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical.
Summer heat is coming. Will your air conditioner be ready? Don't risk an expensive breakdown. A quick tune-up from B&W catches problems early and keeps your family cool and comfortable. Join thousands of Hoosiers who trust B&W. Call 317-214-0108 or go to bplusw.com today.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer since 1961.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The doctor who may have thrown his career away for drugs. 72 now on Monument Circle with clouds and some rain showing up on radar, especially north of Lebanon, north of Hamilton County too. But there are some sprinkles in Indy proper too. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending for Moss Roofing. You may have heard of a doctor who was arrested last Friday during a drug bust in Johnson County. Jake McDaniel reports he was charged today.
Derek Hazenauer was an assistant medical doctor for the Windrose Health Network. Authorities said Tuesday he was put on unpaid leave.
He was writing prescriptions and then having the person who's receiving the prescription sell the drugs back to him.
Johnson County prosecuting attorney Lance Hamner says this case was looked into by
Franklin Police Department and the DEA. Got information on this, and then they used the probable cause affidavit will show that they used an informant to buy from him.
Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A hotline between military and civilian air traffic controllers in Washington hasn't worked in more than 3 years. Fox's Kristen Goodwin has more.
Senator Ted Cruz questioning Frank McIntosh, the Federal Aviation Administration's Deputy Chief Operating Officer for Operations in the Air Traffic Organization.
Is it true that the hotline, the direct line between the Pentagon Air Traffic Control and the DCA Tower, has been inoperable since March of 2022?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Explaining during a Senate Commerce hearing that the Department of Defense maintains the hotline, that the FAA was not aware it wasn't working until this year, and insisting it be fixed before resuming any operations out of the Pentagon. The focus on air safety comes after a military helicopter and a passenger jet collided near Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, killing 67 people. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Spring showers might bring flowers, but they can also bring roof leaks. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, leading to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Water can seep into your attic, walls, and insulation, causing mold, rot, and expensive structural damage. The good news? Moss Roofing. They offer free inspections. Whether it's a small leak or a big roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. With over 35 years of experience, Moss Roofing knows how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. Don't wait for a minor drip to turn into a major repair. For top-notch roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. For a job done right every single time, visit mossroofing.com. Call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or go online to Moss Roofing. MOSS, mossroofing.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. Here's Matt Bear.
Yeah, this is a west side crash, Chris. It's northbound 465 after Sam Jones Expressway, blocking the right shoulder, causing a slowdown, but no delay through the crash site. Inbound 65, delayed 5 minutes, 29th. Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70, stop and go. Belmont to the south split for a 4-minute delay. Northwest side, northbound 465, stop and go traffic from 79th up to 865, and westbound 465 now stopped from Meridian over to Ditch Road. Eastbound 465 grinding from Westfield Boulevard over to Allisonville Road. This is a crash on the west side, 38th of Moeller. Crash north side, Keystone Avenue at Ruth, and a crash with injuries. South side, Southport Road west of Acton. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered shower and storm potential tonight up to I-74 with an isolated severe hail risk. Thursday hot and humid with near record highs in the upper 80s. Severe risk Thursday evening and night of storms can fire with all hazards possible. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
We have an update in regards to the scumbag that shot and killed the Beech Grove police officer nearly 25 years ago. So as we mentioned earlier, the Indiana Parole Board recommended to the governor no clemency for Benjamin Ritchie. Benjamin Ritchie, the piece of trash that shot and killed Officer William Toney in Beech Grove. He was a husband. He was a father. Ritchie ambushed him. and then got his badge number tattooed on his neck and called his grieving widow the B word and laughed at her during the hearing, the sentencing hearing. So the last couple of days, there's been a lot of chatter about whether or not the parole board would grant clemency or recommend clemency to Governor Mike Braun, because it's ultimately his call. The parole board said, we do not recommend clemency. We now have an update from Governor Mike Braun. It's ultimately his call. The execution is on. Governor Mike Braun releasing a statement saying he will allow the execution of the Beech Grove cop killer to move forward. So thank you, Governor Braun. I know a lot of people right now, you say his name, they get upset about the way the whole property tax thing went down. But this is the absolute right decision, and I'm glad that the governor is moving forward with this. So that's the update. Now, Jeff Boggs is filling in for Big Nige today. Producer Allison is here. I received a nasty email yesterday from a pro-Benjamin Ritchie apologist, somebody that thinks I've been way too tough on the scumbag that murdered a police officer in my hometown. So, Allison, cue up the band. We're going to do a little Hammer and Nigel theater here, okay? I have printed off the email and my response. Playing the role of me will be producer Allison, and playing the role of the apologist for the Beech Grove cop killer will be Jeff Boggs, okay? So this is an email exchange that came to my personal email here at work. Jeff Boggs, the floor is yours.
Hammer, did you ever consider that there might be innocent people like a biological son of Ben Ritchie, and he never met him because of what he did? But does he have to hear you say it will be better night of Ben Ritchie fries, etc.? I don't know Ritchie, but I do know he had a pretty horrible childhood. And maybe all the drinking you out-promote someone has run into someone and killed them, ? They should execute people that kill police officers or people that kill their kids in the first 2 weeks after the crime, but they don't, so keep it up and ruin people's lives.
It's a lot of bad grammar there.
Yep.
A lot of misspellings. Okay, so that was the first response that I received. Here to read my response, playing the role of me, is producer Allison.
I don't care about his family. He's not innocent. The victim's family wants him dead, and I hope Benjamin Ritchie is dead on May 20th. That would be justice. Thank you for listening.
Very short, very simple. And the response I got to that, ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Boggs.
You were just a piece of crap. God will judge accordingly.
Okay.
I'm sure you're not a believer. You support the piece of crap that killed those 2 girls in Delphi.
What?
Hypocrite. Braun is killing us on taxes, but you don't call him or any other politician out on treason. Did you marry Tony's daughter? You use Biden's criminal acts to make money. Why aren't you asking for his execution? I'm not against executions, but your hatred and comments affect innocent people, and I hope you pay for that.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack there. First of all, I'm not pro-Delphi killer, and I can't stress that enough. I simply thought there were some questions about that trial, questions about transparency. I want to make sure they got the right guy. I want to make sure that trial was fair. I wasn't in the courtroom. I had questions. In regards to the Joe Biden thing, if they charged him with treason, I'd be fine with that. Last time I checked, he bragged about shaking down a Ukrainian prosecutor, which we have talked about and played the audio of time and time again on this program. Don't threaten me with a good time. And no, I did not marry any of the daughters of Officer William Toney. I married the crazy coupon lady who has no relations. So there you go. This is a little bit of the crazy that I get on the daily. Now you guys know what I have to deal with when I put myself out there saying I hope a scumbag meets his maker. Thank you for participating in Hammer and Nigel Show Theater. Now, you also received a message, Jeff, from a listener, but it was something totally different.
It was a 180 from that. I got a message today from a lovely woman who, Jean Morehouse, and she said, "Hey, I love you and Hammer and Nigel. Is there any chance we could pay you to help our daughter come up with a 90-second graduation speech? There are like 15 valedictorians in her class, and that's how long they each have to speak."
15 valedictorians?
15. So she's asking us, can we help her daughter come up with a valedictorian speech around 90 seconds? I mean, I came up with a little something. I don't know if it's good or not. I just jotted it down really quickly. Would you like to hear mine?
I would like to hear it. Here, let's do this right. Let's put 90 seconds of the graduation theme behind you to see how it would sound in the social setting, okay?
Sure. Good morning. In less than an hour, our class will be graduating, and we will embark on the greatest rite of passage in the history of mankind. Mankind. That word should have a new meaning for all of us today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be united in our common interests. Perhaps it's fate that today is our graduation day, and we will once again be fighting for our freedom, not from tyranny, oppression, or prosecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live. We're fighting for our right to exist. And should we win this day, May 19th will no longer just be known as our high school graduation day, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive because today is our graduation day.
Yes! Now, I'm ready to run through a brick wall, but I feel like I've heard that before.
No, just came up with it on the drive down.
Are you sure?
100%. Yep. I would never steal anything.
That's not the speech from Independence Day at all?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, there you go. Now, as luck would have it, I have given a speech at graduation before. My son has given a speech at graduation before. I put a little something together, too. Now, it's not Bill Pullman-esque, but would you like to hear it anyway?
You know who would love to hear it? Jean Morehouse, who asked us to help her daughter write a graduation speech. So please, by all means.
All right, Allison, cue up the band. Dear future ankle monitor wearers, we are gathered here today to celebrate this thing called life. Actually, we're here to celebrate an end of one era and the start of a new one. In many ways, tonight is like when a professional wrestler dies of drug and steroid overdoses. You may be sad when it's over, but then you turn on the TV and you're instantly happy again. R.I.P. Iron Sheik, hello Tribal Chief. Thornton Mellon once said, quote, "Life is tough. You have to look out for number one without stepping in number two. Life is designed to keep you down. 1 minute, you're celebrating an achievement. The next minute, you take the early flight home from San Diego and a couple naked people jump out of your bathroom blindfolded like a damn magic show ready to double team your girlfriend. I've seen it a million times. But you have to respond and pick yourself up." In closing, it was Dr. Dre who once said, "Never let me slip, because if I slip, then I'm slipping." There is no doubt that each one of you in this room can recover from a slip. Some of you will become doctors. Some of you will become hookers with back fat. No matter what you do it with that same soul-sucking, goofy smile that you're doing right now. Thank you. Thank you.
That's inspiring. I think kids out there hear that and they say, I want to strive to be better. Back fat.
Correct.
That's really well done. I like it.
Go big or go home.
Jean Morehouse is going to love it, and whichever one she chooses, she can just send the check to that person, correct?
And you can mix and match, right? You can use a little of Boggs, a little bit of mine.
Sure.
Just send us a copy of, she uses any of that. We want to have a copy of it. Record it and send it to us here at the Hammer and Nigel Show. Caller number 9 right now, 239-9393. Carb Day tickets are on the line. Hammer and Nigel Show is broadcasting live at Carb Day. 1 week from this Friday, we're in Garage 23 near Gasoline Alley. We want you to join us. So we got a fun little game we're going to play, but you have to be caller number 9 at 239-9393.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct, and May is officially the kickoff to home improvement season. And right now, during their home improvement season sale, you'll get an incredible 50% off your windows. Yes, half off. You heard right. You can upgrade your home with beautiful energy-efficient windows for half the cost. But it gets even better. For a limited time, you'll get no interest and no payments for 12 months. That's a whole year to enjoy your new windows before you pay a single cent. And here's the cherry on top. You'll receive a free entry door with your window purchase. Now, some restrictions may apply, so to get all the information and schedule your free in-home estimate, call Universal Windows Direct today at 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. Universal Windows Direct's Home Improvement Season Sale. Half off your windows, no interest, no payments for 12 months. 317-659-7574. Tell them Rob sent you.
What is 988?
It's a free 24-hour suicide and crisis lifeline.
And what is a crisis?
Maybe something you experience so often.
You don't even think it's a crisis.
Anxiety over money.
A stressful relationship.
Concerns about a loved one's mental health.
If you are experiencing thoughts of suicide or mental health or substance use crisis, call or text 988.
It's a listening ear.
And it's a way forward.
It's the Bash Sale, the biggest automotive sale in history. Your local Bill Estes dealerships are coming in hot with deals on trucks you don't want to miss. We have a huge selection of trucks at one easy online stop. Brand new Chevy, Ford, GMC, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota trucks with a massive pre-owned selection too. Plus, our fair and direct upfront pricing means what you see is what you pay. Shift into savings during the Bash Sale. Only at Bill Estes dealerships, and drive away in your dream truck today. Online at BillEstesTrucks.com.
Race into Pierce Jewelers in Carmel and make a pit stop to purchase that unique diamond engagement ring that will put you in the winner's circle. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Want to find out what real retirement planning is all about? Tune in to Expedition Retirement with Greg Ayler, Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBC.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg.
Hammer and Nigel here for our friends at Bill Demery. Bill Demery, your retirement guy. Bill and his amazing team, they're waiting to hear from you. All you have to do is give them a call. You could get a free analysis with the premier retirement guy in Indy. All you got to do is call 317-648-5120. If you've saved more than $200,000 and you haven't yet filed for Social Security, get that free analysis right now, because this analysis could help you get hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional lifetime income, and it's absolutely free. 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. Let him break it all down for you. He's my retirement guy. He should be yours. Bill Demery, 317-648-5120.
The news everyone's talking about. You'll find it at WIBC.com. The latest from City Hall, the White House, or the State House. Updated all day. Don't miss what matters. Stay in the know while you're on the go at WIBC and WIBC.com.
All right, we'll give away some tickets here in just a moment. But first, Matt Baer, what's going on?
All right, Hammer on the northeast side. Awful place to have a crash. It's northbound 465 approaching I-69 on the peel off the exit ramp. And the ramp is open. It is partially blocked with traffic slow back to I-70. Now, taking a look at inbound 65, stop and go traffic, MLK down to Meridian Penn, 6-minute delay. Eastbound 70 delayed 6 minutes. Belmont into the south split. Crash on the north side, Keystone Avenue at Ruth Drive, and a crash on the northwest side, 38th at Moeller. South side, eastbound 465, stop and go from I-69 over to Emerson Avenue, and a crash on the southeast side, Southport Road, west of Acton. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Get 30% off all patio furniture. Wicker, Berlin Gardens Poly, Cast Aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
75 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, and caller number 9 was Jim. Jim, my man, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, Hammer.
All right. We're going to try to give you some Carb Day tickets, but we're going to have to play a game to do it. It's called Racer or Pacer. Here in just a moment, my man, Jeff Boggs, is going to give you the name of somebody. It will either be a current race car driver in the IndyCar Series or a current member of your Eastern Conference Finals Indiana Pacers. You get 2 out of 3, and we're going to give you the tickets, okay?
That sounds great.
Here we go. Number 1,
The first name is Colton Herta. Colton Herta.
Herta, Jim. Racer or pacer?
Racer.
Racer.
Bing, bing, bing.
All right, one down. Get this one right, we'll throw a party.
TJ McConnell.
TJ McConnell is a racer.
No, he's not. He's a scrappy player off the bench for your Indiana Pacers. Okay, it comes down to this one. Get this one right, we'll throw a party. If not, we'll roll the tickets over to tomorrow.
Tyrese Halliburton.
That is my pacer.
Boom, baby! Boom, baby! My man.
Boom, baby.
Make it a sweat a little bit, but you got it. You got the tickets. And
I
Jim,
didn't want to be the big dumb to lose it.
Jim, do us a favor. Stop by the Hammer and Nigel show live at Carb Day when you guys are out there and say hello, all right?
I will definitely do that. You guys are awesome. I listen every day. I appreciate it.
Right on. Stay on the line. Allison will take care of you. In the meantime, hit me with some booze news.
You set him up and I'll knock him back, Lloyd. 1 by 1.
We are gonna read booze news, cause it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Hammer and Nigel present
Booze news, booze news. Time for booze news.
Jeff, according to a journalist and a beer columnist, the perfect number of beers to sit down to have social drinks is 2. The columnist George Linker admits that this is catered to body specifics, but he says at 3 beers, bad decisions start being made, like ordering a 4th or a 5th. He says 2 beers is the perfect amount to have beers with buddies and be social.
Well, we get into that weird thing of how big are the beers? Is it a barrel full of beer? Then 1 would do the trick.
2 beer bongs.
2 beer bongs, exactly. I would think 2 to be social. Anything after 2, that means you're kind of there trying to get things done. You know, you're maybe like open to possibilities later on in the night.
I need 3 just to calm down.
You really just
Sometimes.
to wake up?
I'm bigger than you. I weigh a little bit more. There's more mass here, but 3 Miller Lights, I'm all right. 2 is just like I've done nothing.
Yeah, I guess it's like the gentleman's sweep we did on Cleveland last night. 2 is it's a very gentlemanly number. It's like, yeah, I'll stop by, have 2 nice beers, and then go home to my family. That's great.
All right, so great moments in beer history. Jeff, you get to choose one of these clips, okay? Which one, because we got time for one, do you want to hear? The beer prank to Nigel's mother, Kavanaugh and Donald Trump, Hammer and Nigel records, singing about beers, or 30 seconds of Brett Kavanaugh just talking about beer?
How about Nigel's mom?
Okay, here we go.
Hello, this is Tina. May I help you?
Beer, beer, beer. I'm going for a beer.
Hello, this is Tina.
Beer, beer, beer. I'm gonna drink some beer.
Excuse me, this is Tina. May I help you?
Beer, beer, beer. I'm gonna drink some beer.
I'm sorry.
I like drinking beer.
Sir? Please, may I help you?
Lovely, lovely beer.
Please, I'm going to hang up now, okay?
Beer, beer, beer.
Call her back.
This is Tina. May I help you?
Beer, beer, beer. I'm going for a beer.
I'm sorry. I don't know who this is or why you keep asking for me.
Lovely, lovely beer.
Please, stop now. Who is this?
Beer, beer, beer. I'm going for a beer.
This is Tina. May I help you?
I like drinking beer. Lovely, lovely beer.
I'm sorry. I'm going to call the police. This is
Top stories coming up next.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group. But before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. And when Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. Every pre-owned Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, Tundra, every car, every truck, everything in the showroom, everything on the lot. Need credit? Managers will be on site, accepting applications for immediate review. Plus, Hubler's got you covered. Every Q-certified vehicle includes our 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota, everything goes. It's your chance to save like never before. Don't miss it. When Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. On US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. Before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Memorial Day is for honoring heroes. In Indy, it's also a day for celebrating the Indy 500. As the excitement of May grows, so do the temperatures outside. Indiana American Water reminds you to start conserving water. Just like a finely tuned race car, your home needs to run efficiently. Fix leaks, use water-efficient appliances, and do lawn watering early in the morning. Make this summer a season of savings and sustainability. Conserve water, save money, and enjoy a greener tomorrow. Happy Memorial Day and enjoy the race. From Indiana American Water.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
This Saturday is the annual Sundown Garden Spring Open House. Shop Saturday to save 20% off everything in stock. You won't want to miss this event and all the great things that Sundown has to offer. Enjoy prizes and giveaways, sales, and more. Don't forget the Hamilton County Llamas are going to be there from 11 to 1. This Saturday only at Sundown Garden Spring Open House. 20% off everything in stock, labors excluded. Sundown Gardens, located on 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield. SundownGardens.com.
Pushback from Iran. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. Iran's president vowing not to be bullied as President Trump warns again it can't be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. Though he also says he wants Iran to thrive during a state dinner toast in Qatar.
I hope you can help me with the Iran situation because it's a perilous situation and we want to do the right thing. We want to do something that's going to save maybe millions of lives.
Earlier, the president signing economic agreements with Qatar, including what he calls the largest ever order of Boeing jets from Qatar Airways. President Trump has said he would accept a Boeing jumbo jet from Qatar's royal family, a potential gift to serve as a temporary Air Force One while Boeing finishes production on new ones. House Speaker Mike Johnson.
My understanding is it's not a personal gift to the president, it's a gift to the United States, and other nations give us gifts all the time.
But House Democrats are proposing a resolution demanding the president submit plans and seek congressional consent to comply with the Foreign Emoluments Clause. Just getting reports President Trump will not travel to Turkey to join Russia-Ukraine talks after Russia released a delegation list that did not include President Putin. Ukraine's leader has called for direct talks with Putin. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. telling lawmakers cuts in his department will not affect key health programs.
Are you freezing and withholding funding that Congress appropriated in 2025 for life-saving NIH research?
We are not withholding any funding for life-saving research.
Okay. Also telling Democratic Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro he will follow the law. Kennedy also says the central focus of the FDA and National Institutes of Health will be studying ultra-processed foods, sugars, and food additives as part of an effort to address what he calls a chronic disease epidemic in the U.S. America is listening to Fox News.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News. 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now. 93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Students evacuated, then sent home. You may be seeing one of those pop-up showers. They are across the Indy Metro this afternoon and have enumerated in the past hour. It's 77 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 5:02. It was a carbon monoxide alarm at Danville Community High School that had students evacuated from the school and sent home early. One person was taken to a hospital, several students and staff treated at the school. The gas apparently affecting hallways and classrooms behind the cafeteria. A doctor is facing several criminal charges today after he was arrested during a drug bust last Friday. Jake McDaniel has the story.
Investigators supervised a transaction between Derek Hasenauer and someone in the parking lot of a Rural King in Greenwood. Johnson County prosecuting attorney Lance Hamner says this was a prearranged transaction.
When you use an informant or a CI, then that person will pretend to be a person who wanting to buy and sell drugs.
Franklin police and the drug enforcement agencies say Hasenauer bought controlled substances that were prescribed before. He could face up to 20 years in prison if convicted. No word on his first hearing.
An Indiana murder case has been solved after nearly 50 years. John Herrick explains.
Everett Armstrong was an 84-year-old World War I veteran and banjo player who lived in Adams County. He was found dead in his mobile home with a gunshot wound in August of 1977. The case went cold for decades until state police reopened it in 2013 and identified James McBride II as the suspect. McBride had confessed to the crime to multiple witnesses shortly after it happened. They say he discussed specific details found at the crime scene. And although McBride died in June of last year, police concluded that he was responsible for Armstrong's murder. John Herrick, Network Indiana.
The Church's Bill of Rights. That's a document that's been written and presented for your consideration by Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith and State Attorney General Todd Rokita. They say it's to let you know the rights for you and your place of worship so you can freely practice your faith. You've got traffic, weather, and then a track report from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway coming up.
A good evening from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm Brendan King with your 93 WIBC track update, and it's brought to you by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard Air dealer. Nobody cares for you like family. Well, here from IMS in a bit of a hold the last hour or so due to a lightning delay that has halted practice. But as you can hear, the green flag has gone again, and practice will carry until 6 p.m. here tonight. So far, nobody quicker, just like yesterday, than Will Power. Team Penske continues to post big speeds. Power the best at 225.584 mph. Right behind him is Team Penske teammate Joseph Newgarden. It's a fast six right now of Power, Newgarden, Scott Dixon, Alex Palou, David Malukas, and Marcus Armstrong. Nearly 1,500 laps have been turned here on day 2 of practice. I'm Brendan King from the track, 93 WIBC.
You may not have 1,000 horsepower, but you're always racing, whether it's to work, to pick something up, or drop someone off. So go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations or visit drivehubler.com and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're racing to, go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
traffic on 93 WIBC. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, northeast side crash, northbound 465 on the exit to I-69. The ramp is open, partially blocked. Stop and go traffic back to I-74, 12-minute delay. Inbound 65, grinding MLK to Meridian Penn, 7-minute delay. Eastbound 74-minute delay, Belmont into the south split. Inbound 69 slow but moving, 106th Street to 82nd. Eastbound 465 stop and go before and after Keystone Avenue. Northwest side northbound 465 slow, 86th Street to 865. South side eastbound 465 slow from 31 over to Emerson Avenue. This is a crash on the south side, Southport Road west of Acton. Crash south Sherman. South of Stomp 11 Road. On the north side crash, Keystone Avenue at Ruth. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered shower and storm potential tonight up to I-74 with an isolated severe hail risk. Thursday hot and humid with near record highs in the upper 80s. Severe risk Thursday evening and night of storms can fire with all hazards possible. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
It's the Hammer and or Nigel show. Some people call it Hammer and Friends. I'm here. You can count on me. Nigel? Anyway, Jeff Boggs is filling in for Big Nige today. The traffic beast, Matt Bear. You can count on him to be here, and you can count on him looking jacked as always.
It's been a good day, except for the flooding this morning. That was pretty bad.
Yeah. I've been in a great mood all day, but then again, I've not been affected by flooding. What was it like this morning? Because flood warnings kind of came out of nowhere, it felt like.
Yeah, this was one of those rush hours. We got going at 5 a.m., and when I left at 9:15, it was still really bad. I mean, I'm talking about 3 different spots on the interstates. I mean, it's one thing, guys, if you're coming down to city streets and all of a sudden you can kind of move over to another lane. You don't expect this at 65, 70 miles per hour on the interstates. The first one is one that's starting to reoccur a lot. It's 465 on the northeast side. You know, this construction zone with clear path. I remember a time last year it rained so hard that people could not pass through that section around 71st Street on 465. Right. And we didn't have it that badly here this morning, but it was still bad enough to flag that section of interstate and say, hey, you may want to stay out of this lane or that lane. There was flooding on that part. And we also had 65 around 38th Kessler. That was flagged. And then on the south side, flag is just a general term I'm using, by the way. South side, the one at 65 and Edgewood Avenue, I captured the picture from the cameras and I tweeted it out. It was these NDOT workers and they're waiters. And there's like water almost up to their waist. They're out there. Not only are they taking care of the flooding in this left lane, the left lane was closed, but there was a crash there that damaged the guardrail. So they're looking at the guard. So basically somebody was cruising through that heavily traveled area on 65 between 465 in Southport Road. Something happened that caused them to wreck in the flooding, or maybe it was the flooding itself that caused the wreck.
And the worst possible time for all of this, too.
You aren't kidding. I mean, the rain, it was in the forecast, but you never expect it to be as bad as it was. And that's hard to do. That's not the fault of the
We kept hearing Thursday was going to be the big nasty day.
Yeah, exactly. And people do the best they can. You know, nobody... The roads need to be better. Okay, it's as simple as that. And you hear people talking about, I think I read something the other day said, hey, we need to tax more for better roads. The bottom line is everybody's throwing out ideas that make it so these months like February, March, April, May aren't nearly as bad as they are in Indianapolis and the surrounding areas, specifically Indianapolis with potholes and flooding, because that's what we're finding out now the last couple of years is not only do we have a pothole problem, but we may have infrastructure problem as far as flooding goes.
So, again, keeping our eye on the weather, tomorrow night, we're hearing that's the chance where we could see some severe storms. And in addition to what the storms do, you know, to your house and to your yard, depending on when these things roll through, the commute could be dicey as well.
Yeah, I mean, we got rain out of nowhere last night, and the commute was brutal. Rush hour was busy.
Is that frustrating? Because we've seen rain here, we've seen storms, we've seen blizzards in Indy, but yet every time, Matt, it feels like people forget how to drive in the elements.
It is, and people are impatient, and I get it. Maybe you're late for work, and maybe you're doing this, but the fact is, and we talk about this all the time, Hammer, when I come in on Fridays, your job is to drive. When you're driving, I mean, we have phones, and we're all tempted. I'm tempted, and I've been guilty of sending a message, too, but if you're actually driving the car, this flooding and these snowy covered roads just aren't as bad. They're not going to affect you as much, but something coming out of nowhere, that's what it is. And just, if you can, listen to WIBC, man. We have on the best meteorologists. We have the best coverage with you guys and Tony in the morning. We'll let you know if these things are coming up, and then you can plan and respond accordingly.
I actually had something happen this morning, and I think you'll be proud of me. It was around 116th Street in Allisonville, Allisonville Road. And I wasn't really paying attention to the weather. It was raining, and I was dropping Molly off at work about 8 o'clock this morning. On Sunblessed, a little street off to the side, I turned right. Lo and behold, the car in front of me was down to its headlights.
Oh, good Lord.
And I made the decision. I thought of you, and I made a decision. I backed up. I didn't go through it. Now, talking about people who don't know how to drive, this dude coming the other way gunned it, and he just went straight through. But it caused
I ain't scared of no damn water.
You could hear the Dukes of Hazzard theme in his head, but it was shocking how deep it was out of nowhere. So please be careful when you're driving.
Yeah, I saw a couple of spots today like that, Jeff, and I kind of laughed there, but you hate it, and it is scary, and it is serious with this flooding. I come into work in the morning, and I live downtown. I'm coming off Mass Ave on Michigan Street, and the whole left lane is gone. Yeah. I'm coming up College Avenue towards Washington Street. Washington Street there at 65, 70, and underneath this viaduct, it dips, and the whole thing is just flooded. I mean, I don't know what's common in other metropolises the size of Indianapolis, like a Cincinnati or a St. Louis, but I just have to go through this and think we can do better. Right. Especially with all this road construction we're doing on the interstates.
Do other cities, Matt, have the mirage pothole, where the pothole is so deep, but you don't know because the floodwater has filled the pothole up, and then when you drive on it, bada bing, bada boom.
Well, I can vouch for Los Angeles, a drop of rain, everyone just guns it and starts shooting each other.
Oh,
so
okay.
so it's a little different.
Well, it's reactionary, but it's a reaction. So I look at it like this. Especially on some of these less traveled side streets, you can get everything. And I see people tweeting all the time, I lost my tire. And that stuff is so expensive. So it's just anytime the weather comes in, especially tomorrow night with the severe stuff, just plan accordingly. And I know you want to get home. Nobody wants to get home after work harder than I do, trust me. But you still have to remember you're sharing the road with other people. And I hate sounding like I'm lecturing, but that's what it is, man. You have to know,
Matthew, thank you. We'll check in at the traffic center here in just a moment. Jeff Boggs filling in for Nige. Let's check in over at MSNBC, where Rachel Maddow, i.e. Ryan Braun, longtime Milwaukee Brewers outfielder, I'm convinced they're the same person. Yep. She's kind of down to like a part-time retiree schedule, working 1 day a week. Maybe she'll come in a couple and fill in big events. She's tried to leave and break off MSNBC entirely, but they don't have anybody waiting in the wings. And this is proof of that. They thought Jen Psaki was going to be the next big thing over at MSNBC. Psaki has already lost half of Rachel Maddow's audience in prime time.
Wow.
Now, say what you want about Ryan Braun, but she did deliver numbers for MSNBC. And they've tried a couple different people, including the former White House press secretary with the extremely red hair, that have not worked.
Well, but I don't think that's fair, because Rachel Maddow had her ratings go through the roof when people thought Trump was going to get thrown in prison. People thought Trump was going to lose the election. If you remember when she had his tax returns and goes, tick-tock, we got him, and it turned out he paid his taxes.
And it was like a cover letter and some other crap.
Right. So a lot of these NBC ratings were when people bought into the walls are closing in on Trump. This is the end of it. And then after he won, I think so many people were like, they pulled the wool over our eyes, so we're not going to watch him anymore. So I think even if Rachel Maddow does come back full time, if they say we're going to throw a boatload of cash at you, come back full time, her rating, she'll lose a third of her audience.
And listen, people need to understand there's a difference between an opinion host doing a show and the actual news. That's the case here at WIBC. We have a newsroom. They do the news at the top, at the bottom. It's just the facts. We do an opinion-based show. So now that we all know that, who's entertaining over at MSNBC? It surely isn't Jen Psaki. It's not Stop the Hammering. It's not Morning Joe Cogent on the air in the morning. Like, say what you want about Fox. You might not like their points of views, but Greg Gutfeld is entertaining. Jesse Waters is entertaining. Who's entertaining over at MSNBC?
I don't think they have anyone. They've tried so many things with liberal media. Remember the Charles Barkley? They were like, let's get Barkley on CNN. Maybe people will watch him. If people don't turn into your network to watch Charles Barkley, they're not going to watch your network.
Right. It's a great point. All right, Matt Bear, how are we looking post-flooding from this morning?
I was talking about that northeast side construction zone hammer, and we have a crash up there, not because of the flooding, just because of driving, and it's at the I-69 ramps. The ramp is partially blocked, but it is open, a little tricky on the exit, and it is slow. We have stop-and-go traffic back to I-70, 14-minute delay. Now in Boone County, southbound 65, stop-and-go traffic barely moving in parts from State Road 267 to Whitestown Parkway. South side crash, eastbound 465. This is actually a breakdown at I-65, blocking the right lane and jamming up traffic back to South Meridian. That's past 31. Inbound 65, 7-minute delay, MLK to Meridian Pad. Eastbound 70 delay, 5 minutes, Belmont to the south split. Southbound 69, slow, 106th Street to 82nd. And a crash, Keystone Avenue at Ruth, crash south side, Southport Road, west of Acton. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Foundation Services. Water damaging your home? Contact Indiana Foundation Service, the basement concrete foundation experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more at indianafoundationservice.com. Licensed in all states where work is performed. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up here in just about 15 minutes or so, Tony Kinnett, host of the Tony Kinnett Cast, will join us. He was just on with Will Kane on Fox earlier today. So we'll chat with the Tonus coming up in just a little bit. But up next, a fun round of Are You Okay With This? Right now, it's 75 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. And yes, we still need you to go to the WIBC YouTube page. We need 33 more people to give us a thumbs up, to give us a like. That gets us to 100. So if you're excited for the next 2 weeks, whether it's the Pacers, whether it's the Racers, whether it's the execution of Benjamin Ritchie, whatever the case may be, if you're excited for that, or you're just ready to have a good time this weekend, give us a thumbs up, give us a like. We need 33 sexy, awesome, badass Hoosier Patriots. That's what we're looking for. Just 33. That's all we need. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
You probably have a dream retirement in mind, but do you know how to get there? The difference between dreaming and living your ideal retirement comes down to having the right plan. And that's where Howard Bailey Financial can help. At Howard Bailey Financial, we've created a free retirement toolkit to help you bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. Text DREAM to 888-262-1104 to download your free retirement toolkit that includes a retirement checklist, Social Security decisions guide, estate planning guide, and more. We want your dream retirement to be your reality. And it starts by texting DREAM to 888-262-1104. Let us help you take the next step toward the retirement of your dreams. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Hammer and Nigel here for our pals at the Low T Center. Guys, if you're feeling a little out of it, a little groggy, if you're lacking motivation, is the libido down? Do you feel like you've gained weight? Maybe you need to check out the Low T Center. They've been changing patients' lives for over 15 years here in Central Indy, and it all starts with a thorough in-person consultation. The Low T Center really is your one-stop shop for all things men's health. Yes, they specialize in testosterone treatments, but they can screen you for some cancers. They can screen you for sleep apnea. They can look at your blood and, yes, prescription weight loss medication. So if you are interested in any of those things, do yourself a favor and schedule that appointment right now. FixMyLowT.com. There's never been a better time to start, and you get a free medical consultation and a free T test. FixMyLowT.com. Book that appointment. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family heating and air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, and in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Millions of illegal aliens crossed our southern border under Biden administration policies. But now, things are changing. This is your Congressman, Jefferson Shreve. I'm committed to securing our borders and to protecting our Hoosier communities. I'm delivering for you. Because of Republican leadership, illegal border crossings are at an all-time low. I'm leading the charge to complete the southern border wall and deport illegal aliens. I'm fighting for Indiana and working for you in Congress.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Pat Sullivan here with exciting news from my friends at Hope Plumbing, now known as Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Hope now offers plumbing, heating, and air conditioning services, bringing total comfort to your home. No more dealing with multiple home service memberships. For only $8 a month, Hope is now your one-stop for safety and maintenance inspections and so much more. Make sure you're prepared for those Indiana summer heat waves with an AC tune-up by calling Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today at 641-HOPE.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more.
This hour on WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, designers of fine custom jewelry.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
So normally, for Are You Okay With This, Nigel hosts it, and I answer. But since Nigel has fallen off a cliff and has died on impact, we're going to do things a little differently today.
Don't say that.
Producer Allison is going to host it, and then Jeff Boggs and I will both weigh in on the answer. How about that?
All right. There's a new biopic being made about the former NFL head coach turned announcer John Madden. Best part, Nicolas Cage will be playing Madden, and Christian Bale will play the team owner, Al Davis. Hammer, are you okay with this?
When I heard the casting, I thought, is this going to be cheesy? Is this going to be dumb? Man, I saw a picture from the set. I think I'm in. I think I'm here for this. I'm okay with this. One, Christian Bale usually always delivers. Even if the movie is a turd, Christian Bale usually delivers. And Nicolas Cage, I didn't know if I felt John Madden when I saw him, but just seeing the photo from the set, Jeff, I think this is going to turn out okay.
Yeah, I love it. I saw the pictures today, and, Nicolas Cage in anything is somewhat entertaining. Nicolas Cage as explaining turduckens to people is going to be fabulous. So that's going to be great for me.
I'm going to retweet this right now at Hammer and Nigel. If you want to see the photo from the set, like a little promotional shot, go at Hammer and Nigel right now. Christian Bale as Al Davis, just win, baby. And Nicolas Cage as a young John Madden. I think it works.
It looks good. All right. So you're going to follow me with this one. A man is going viral for his story about his roommate stealing some of his cake from his mini fridge. Then the roommate had an allergic reaction to the peanuts in it and now wants him to pay for his medical bills for, quote unquote, poisoning him. Are you okay with this?
No, I'm not okay. The only thing I'm okay with is the thief got poisoned. So somebody steals your cake from the fridge, right? And you get sick off of it. It's not his fault. It wasn't for you. Like if I have a case of Miller Lite in my fridge in the office, I'm not saying I'm due. I'm not saying that I don't. And you drink one and say, oh, by the way, I'm allergic to barley. You need to pay my medical bills. Well, no, that's not how this works.
This story almost sums up the entire DNC platform. It's like, I stole something, and then something bad happened to me, so I'm going to sue him. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense whatsoever. There have to be consequences to your actions. If there aren't, then what would stop him from stealing again?
The professional victim mentality in this country is strong, right? You're absolutely right.
All right, what we've all been waiting for. The most obese states in America.
Uh-oh.
Come on, Kentucky.
West
Come
Virginia.
on, Kentucky.
Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama.
Oh!
Are you okay with this?
I mean, I'm okay with those states on there, and I totally see it because there's a lot of porkers there. But I was really hoping for Kentucky to be on that list. I mean, it's a fried chicken culture, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, geographically, if you look at a map, all of those states seem to be in the same area. So maybe there's something. Maybe Kentucky got on a treadmill. You know, maybe they were like, if we can drop collectively 1 pound, we're going to stay off this list. And good for them. They did it.
We just have to beat Alabama. That's where the bar is in this country. And speaking of Alabama, and I'm not saying this as a Tennessee Volunteer fan at all, but how about we cue up the band for a little classic Hammer and Nigel records?
My brother Bill and my other brother Cleve, a belly full of beer and a freezer full of meat. Somebody must have hit another deer last night, Alabama Saturday night. Yeehaw. I was gonna cut my mullet this fall, but locks of love won't return my calls, so I'll just trim the top and sides, Alabama Saturday night. We got A's on our shirts and A's on our hats, but we never did learn any letters after that. We ain't all dumb, but we ain't all bright. Alabama Saturday night. And on Friday night, we get dressed up.
The breakdown.
In our tank tops, head out to the club. Sam's Club.
Yeah!
And we buy butter by the gallon and ketchup by the quart. Beer bellies hanging over fresh cut jorts. Sleep in the truck till the morning light. Alabama Saturday night.
Definitely think Alabama should have been higher on that list. All right, Tony Kinnett coming up next. Right now, let's break down and have a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why the cops didn't listen. Several showers and maybe some with a little rumble of thunder showing up on radar right now, mostly in the northern part of the Indy Metro. It's 78 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. When 84-year-old Everett Armstrong was murdered with a shotgun inside his trailer in Adams County in 1977, several people told police that James McBride II had blabbed about the killing, even showing the murder weapon. But at the time, police didn't listen.
When I started working on the case in 2013, there was only 1 or 2 people left alive even that had worked on the case as policemen. And, it was still a very long time ago, so their memory on exactly why that didn't get pursued anymore was not real good.
State Police investigator Captain Kevin Smith says this week they reached the conclusion that McBride was the killer, and he died last year. At Danville Community High School, students were sent home early today. But first, they had to get out of the school when carbon monoxide alarms went off in the back hallways near the cafeteria. One person ended up in the hospital and several were treated at the school. The United States has successfully test-launched a hypersonic aircraft as it tries to beat countries in the hypersonic race, such as China and Russia. Fox Business Network's Max Gordon has more from Mojave, California.
The Pentagon is working with private companies like
like Stratolaunch to develop new hypersonic technology like the one we're standing next to, a one-to-one mock-up of Talon A, the first reusable hypersonic aircraft developed here in the United States since 1968. And this thing can go really fast, more than 4,000 miles per hour. This thing has the capability to go up to Mach 6. Right now, Stratolaunch has only launched 2 hypersonic flights with Talon A, but they're hoping in the near future to be doing multiple hypersonic flights every single month.
Mach 6 is 6 times faster than the speed of sound. Traffic on 93 WIBC. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, southbound 65 out of the Boone. Stop and go traffic from State Road 267, a little before that, in fact, down to Whitestown Parkway. Northbound 465, grinding after 79 to 865. Eastbound 465, stop and go traffic before Keystone to Allisonville Road. Inbound 69, slow but moving, 96 to 82nd. East side northbound 465, stop and go from 70 up to East 56th Street. The crash on the exit to I-69 is cleared. Inbound 65, 6-minute delay from MLK to Meridian Penn. 5-minute delay on eastbound 70 from Belmont to the South Split. On the south side, eastbound 465 at I-65, a stall blocking the right lane, causing stop-and-go traffic past 31. We're delayed 8 minutes there. And a crash south of Sherman Drive, south of Stop 11. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered shower and storm potential tonight up to I-74 with an isolated severe hail risk. Thursday hot and humid with near record highs in the upper 80s. Severe risk Thursday evening and night of storms can fire with all hazards possible. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. I'm Jason Hammer. Jeff Boggs is in for Big Nige. And this is the point of the week where we check in with the Tonus. That's how you find him on Twitter, at the Tonus. Tony Kinnett, host of the Tony Kinnett Cast. He's also an investigative journalist for the Daily Signal. Tonus, my man, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm currently en route from Fort Worth back to Dallas, and we're having a bit of fun.
Look at you being all George Strait, Amarillo by morning, en route to Dallas and Fort Wayne. And I told you earlier, Tony, Dallas, the old TV show, J.R. Ewing, one of my TV heroes. Love J.R. Ewing's character. Love the fact that he drank actual booze on the set. Now, that probably is why his liver kind of petered out on him as he got older. But, man, I love J.R. Ewing's character.
They just don't make characters like that anymore. But I was down here with Fanchon Stinger, who used to be on Channel 8, kind of an Indiana legend, down on Merritt Street. Got to meet Dr. Phil this morning as well. Got to hear him say, I think you better just leave her alone. It was fantastic.
What are you doing in Texas, by the way?
A lot of great media hits. The show at 7 just broke the top 25. So we're down spreading the good word of the Pacers around the country. Why not?
Love it. Love it, man. All right, let's dive into some meat and potatoes here. Donald Trump's on his little world tour right now. They're selling T-shirts. It's like AC/DC. He packs every stadium he's going to. The world tour is taking him to the Middle East, where he's got a $400 million jet as a gift from Qatar. And, oh, by the way, a $600 billion economic deal with Saudi Arabia. What do we think?
I'd say this, the president of the United States, as Trump does, in his first term, he knocked over the American, the Mexico, the Canadian trade deals like nothing we'd ever seen. He had them patched back up, and things were phenomenal a couple of weeks later. The man comes second time. He flips over the whole table, and in 2 months, he is brokering the biggest deals in this country's history economically. And that's, if you set the Qatar stuff aside, which I think is one of the most overblown stories that I've seen in a couple of weeks, because, of course, there are so many. Right now, this man is, I don't know where he's finding the time to sleep. He's also apparently keeping his schedule open to meet with Putin and Zelensky one-on-one. No one thought that was going to happen. It's an incredible time to be alive, man.
And one of the things that I see on social media is everybody getting their pearls, clutching their pearls. How dare you get in business with the Saudis, that dirty money. Mind you, Tony, these are the same people that were just fine with pallets full of cash being dropped off to the Iranians. But now all of a sudden, when the United States could make money instead of exporting money, people have a problem with dealing with Saudi Arabia.
A phenomenal point. And to build on top of that, let's not forget the Democrat administrations that were cozying up with China, that were cozying up with African nations that were committing gross atrocities, that were cozying up with Eastern European nations that were committing genocides. No one ever said a word. And by the way, you think the Trump administration doesn't know that the Qatari administration has serious issues? What, you think that they're all just sticking their fingers in their ear and going la 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 la? No, we usually saved that for the codger asleep on Rehoboth Beach in Delaware.
Right. And the real reality is, and people hate to hear this, but the Saudis have a lot of money. You might not like how they get it. You might not like their human, resource policies, so to speak, but they're going to spend that money regardless. Why not spend it in America? If it's going to be spent, I'd rather have it here.
Also, people are forgetting that the Russian economy only stands on one other thing when it's not dependent on the U.S. economy secondarily through China trading. That is oil. And if Trump is going to squeeze Putin until he pops like a bad zit, you need to cut Russia off from the global oil economy. That means working with the Saudis and Qatar. No one's mentioning this. Of course, we all understand this. You actually read past the first headline on a Jonathan Karl ABC News story. Do you want the man to actually solve the Ukraine-Russian war? Or are you going to go, no, don't work with them. They're rich Arab people. Ew. That doesn't mean I trust Qatar. I don't. I don't trust the Saudis either. I don't. But I just, no one is being real about this.
Oh, you're 100% right. Tony Kinnett with us, host of the Tony Kinnett Cast, 7 o'clock here at 93 WIBC. So you mentioned somebody that might be asleep on a beach in Delaware. I mentioned somebody that might be in favor of dropping off pallets full of cash to the Iranians. Let's stop beating around the bush here and talk a little bit about Joe Biden. He's doing a media tour for some reason. Tony, you're a smart guy. You're the smartest guy we have on the air each week. Why?
Well, so everyone was really impressed that the Saudis were able to get a mobile semi-truck McDonald's to follow the president around. I'm amazed they were able to fit a total nursing home on tour with Joe Biden. I've never seen anything like this, and watching Jake Tapper from CNN come out now to pretend that he was Sherlock Holmes investigating this nonsense, and the anchors over at C-SPAN and MSNBC and the AP and all of these other goofballs pretending they're journalists who now are just discovering whatever. I mean, it's just so insulting to the American people. They think anyone would buy this.
Right. And listen, Jake Tapper's book will sell because we know how this works. There'll be some lobbyist group, some Democrat lobbyist group that buys a crap ton of these books. He'll end up on the bestseller list. But the real reality is the people of this country that have a functioning brain and two eyes that work, hell, maybe even one eye that works, Tony. We knew Joe Biden was broken for a long time. We didn't need confirmation from Jen Psaki or to let us know that this dude had issues, because that's his whole argument now, right?
Oh, of course. And this, believe me, this is enormously frustrating to those of us in the media as well. I was on C-SPAN last year with David Pakman, a major left-wing show host, and the anchor over on their Washington Roundup show, and they were both telling me how dumb I was for suggesting the president might have aggressive dementia. I said, look, I have cared for someone with dementia. A lot of Americans have cared for those with dementia. It's obvious. And they immediately started yelling, well, you're not a doctor. You can't diagnose someone. He's fine. Now those same people are running around saying they knew nothing about this. We have them on camera, willfully participating. But I will disagree with you. I think the Tapper book is good. And here's why. Some of the details, while all of these people are busy, they stepped in dog poop and they're trying to wipe it off on each other so that they can hold a contest for who smells the least like dog poop. That is wonderful to watch. And some of the details in that book are delicious.
And you're right, the details may be good, and he has to put something in there, but at a sheer principle alone, this butt sniffer knew exactly what was going on
he
and carried the water for Joe Biden while he was falling upstairs, falling downstairs, crapping his pants on the national stage, speaking gibberish, calling on dead congresswomen in press conferences. But he wants us to believe that, well, we didn't know anything. The White House must have been lying to us. Bite me.
Oh, yeah, Alex Thompson over at Axios and then Jake Tapper especially. This is what floors me. They're trying to say they didn't know, and it's not even as though Jake Tapper was in the room when it was happening and said nothing. That would be bad. We were told, by the way, that to notice something and say nothing, that's malpractice, right?
That's right.
But he actively, for years, covered for this. Again, every day he lectured people who made these claims. He argued that it wasn't happening. It's like the meme of the guy in the hot dog costume driving through the window, turning around and going, "We're trying to find the guy who did this."
It's a great reference right there. Tony Kinnett, investigative reporter at the Daily Signal, host of Tony Kinnett Cast, is on with us. You mentioned C-SPAN earlier. You did a hit with C-SPAN about a year or so ago. Where are we at with C-SPAN? You said you've got some sort of C-SPAN story you're about to drop?
Yeah, so C-SPAN is one of the publicly funded assetors of the media enterprise. And one of the things that C-SPAN does, even if it's all the way back in the later numbers like C-SPAN 3 or 4, next to ESPN's The Ocho, they are supposed to provide a window free of charge, free of cost for Americans into the political sphere. That's what they were supposed to do. The problem is that on the inside, there appears to be a kind of a hierarchy on what anchors are allowed to present on air based on political views and opinions and what guests are on even. That's a big no-no for C-SPAN's official policy. So I'll say this. We're currently looking at how things in the last year and a half have been unfolding. But I would say that perhaps NPR and PBS aren't the only ones that should be looking over their shoulder.
Interesting. Love it. Hey, stick around for one more break with us.
Sure.
Tony Kinnett coming right back. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group. But before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. And when Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. Every pre-owned Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, Tundra, every car, every truck, everything in the showroom. Everything on the lot. Need credit? Managers will be on site, accepting applications for immediate review. Plus, Hubler's got you covered. Every Q-certified vehicle includes our 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota, everything goes. It's your chance to save like never before. Don't miss it. When Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. On US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. Before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
You know, one of the biggest differences about Indy Decorative Concrete, other than the fact that they do fantastic custom concrete patio work, the best in Indy, the other difference is they actually have W-2 employees, real concrete finishers that work for them, no subcontractors. I think that says something a lot about a local concrete company. Many of the same guys for years. Mario Sr.'s been there since 2009. Indy Decorative Concrete did such a fantastic job replacing my old porch and sidewalk. It gave a whole brand new look and feel to my front yard and my house. They took a basic sidewalk and porch and turned it into this custom stamped concrete area with more space and an awesome, unique look. My wife and I can't believe how amazing our new front porch and sidewalk looks. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. Whether it's a new patio, sidewalk, porch, whatever, don't do anything until you've checked out my friends at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Are you dealing with foot, knee, hip, or back pain? Well, it sounds like you could use a spring in your step. Hi, this is Phoebe with the Good Feet store, and I've got just the thing to help you spring forward into comfort. Good Feet's unique, patented 3-step arch support system is designed to reduce pressure on your joints to keep you feeling energized all day long, even when you're running on an hour's less sleep. With less pressure on your joints, you'll also experience less pain and discomfort too. When you visit the Good Feet store, we'll take time with you to figure out what you need on your free personalized fitting. You can also take all the time you need to walk in-store to feel the Good Feet difference personalized for your feet, your shoes, and your lifestyle. Most of our customers say they feel relief immediately, and you can too. Make your appointment today at goodfeet.com. Don't just live with the pain. Discover your options and spring into comfort at the Good Feet store. Come in today for your free personalized fitting and test walk. We're in your neighborhood. Visit goodfeet.com to find the location nearest to you.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Weekday mornings at 7:15, the Tony Katz Popcorn Moment, brought to you by Boer Remodeling. Don't wait any longer for the kitchen you've been dreaming of. Request a consultation at BoerRemodeling.com.
Secure low prices on brands like GE Profile, Cafe, and more during the locked-in pricing sale at Grand Appliance. Visit GrandAppliance.com or your local Grand today.
Start her engine by racing into Pierce Jewelers in Carmel for that perfect diamond engagement ring that will put you in the winner's circle. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Think of it as WIBC on 2x speed. Big opinions, great moments, and just enough chaos. The WIBC Mashup Podcast brings it all together in one fast, fun listen. New episode each weekday. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer South Side, a stall on eastbound 465 at I-65. Right lane is blocked and traffic is backed up not quite to 31, kind of in the past South Keystone Avenue area. It's a 5-minute delay. Inbound 65 slow from 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 dragging into the south. Split delays at 3 minutes from Harding. Crash on the south side, South Sherman Drive near Stop 11 Road. On the north side, northbound 465 slows at 86th Street, 2865, and eastbound 465 slow off Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden this week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Get 30% off all patio furniture. Wicker, Berlin Gardens, Fowler, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
76 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Back with Tony Kinnett. He's going to be coming on right after our show tonight at 7 o'clock, the Tony Kinnett cast. Tony, imagine being so unlikable, so radical, so much of a zero that the Democratic Party right now says, man, I think we need to break up. Because this brings us to David Hogg, right? Mr. I was there. He's like the Brian Williams of the Parkland school shooting. I was there. Narrator, you weren't. And Mr. I'm going to start my own pillow company, which never panned out. This little needle wiener somehow became the vice chair of the DNC for a little bit, but now they've kicked him out. Again, imagine being so much of a zero that this group of Democrats says we got to go in a different direction.
Imagine looking like Timu Rachel Maddow and being kicked off of the DNC for not being a woman. I mean, they took the guy who is probably the least masculine man other than Tim Walz of Minnesota, and they elected him to the vice chair of the DNC alongside Ken Martin from Minnesota. And all of a sudden he comes in and says, you know what if we had a little civil war inside the party at a time when already their approval rating is like 17%? It's amazing that he wasn't shivved and tossed out a New York mobster's car. I mean, it's amazing that it was this late night middle vote secret ballot. I mean, that's pretty on par for the Democrats. I'll give them that.
So I'm not really sure who you blame for the Democrats' ass-kicking in November. Is it the older folks, or is it the really loud, obnoxious, younger faction of Democrats that have kind of hijacked the party?
So I've said this before, and on this show, the core issue that the Democrats have had, all of it boils down to this weird obsession that they had with, when they were young, they would stab all of the older Democrats in the back. They made all of their secret, sneaky, backroom deals. And then as they were entering their middle stages of life, they thought that the youths they were raising up wouldn't pick up any tricks for them. And now all of a sudden, now that they're the ones being shoved off the cliff in the wheelchair, they're like, wait a minute, this isn't what I ordered. Well, it's exactly what you ordered. You're getting exactly what you taught. And so it's a combination of both of them. This is why you don't lead by corrupt fiat.
And it's that line of thinking, too, Tony, where I'm not all in on Bill Maher. I know there's a lot of people on the right that are all of a sudden like, oh, look at Bill Maher. He's saying nice things about Trump. He says this, he says that. Bill Maher helped create this little problem right here. He was one of the most toxic, flame-throwing, radical lefties on television, but now he sees that people aren't buying that crap, so he's trying to come off somewhat as a moderate. He helped create this monster, so while he does call out his own party, and I'll tip my hat to him for that, let's not get it twisted here. He helped create this monster.
And it's the same with James Carville every time he comes out and says that he doesn't like individuals X, Y, and Z, or John Fetterman from Pennsylvania, just because the party bites back at him a little bit, that we're supposed to suddenly pretend that these aren't the guys that when they're in power, that when they have the microphone, that when they're making the decisions, they go as far to the left as humanly possible, and then they act shocked.
What's coming up on the big show tonight?
We've got an exclusive interview with Senator Roger Marshall of Kansas talking about the president's immigration policy. Also, a great interview talking about a major streaming service scandal that's causing piracy to skyrocket.
Tonight, 7 o'clock, it's the Tony Kinnett cast. You'll be smarter if you listen to him. Tonus, we'll do it again next week, brother. Good stuff.
Thanks, man. You're the best.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. Hammer and Nigel here for our guy, our retirement guy, Bill Demery. Will you be filing for Social Security in the next 5 years? Have you saved more than $200,000 but not yet filed for Social Security? Change that by scheduling a free consultation with the GOAT, the greatest of all time when it comes to this stuff, Bill Demery. My retirement guy should be your retirement guy. Schedule that free analysis by calling 317-648-5120. This free analysis could help you get hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional lifetime income. And it's free. And he breaks it down for you in a way you can understand. 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. Get that free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery, your retirement guy, right here in Indy.
The month of May is here, so start your search engines and go to indianaunclaimed.gov to claim your money today. You have cash waiting for you at indianaunclaimed.gov. Right now, the Attorney General's office is reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every single week. This isn't a boat or a car or contents of a storage locker. This is your money, your cash that's actually waiting for you. It could have been a deposit that you forgot you were supposed to get back, or a dividend from a stock. It could have been an insurance claim. There are a whole series of reasons why you have money waiting for you. Well, the Attorney General has those dollars, and you can search it up fast, easy, and free at indianaunclaimed.gov. Victory Lane is just one claim away at indianaunclaimed.gov. Search for yourself, your family, and your business this May. Text my name, Tony, to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov. indianaunclaimed.gov. Now go get your cash.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Memorial Day is for honoring heroes. In Indy, it's also a day for celebrating the Indy 500. As the excitement of May grows, so do the temperatures outside. Indiana American Water reminds